This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. 13 seconds, a missed field goal, the catch. It all added up to Bills owner Terry Pegula feeling like his team had hit the proverbial playoff wall, resulting in his sole decision to fire coach Sean McDermott. Said he felt a different voice was needed after the despair and sadness he saw in the locker room after the AFC divisional round loss to the Broncos had nothing to do with disconnect or discord. GM and new president of football operations Brandon Beane leads the search for a new head coach in Buffalo. ESPN NFL front office insider Mike Tannenbaum.
There's only 32 of these, and it's Josh Allen in his prime. This roster isn't perfect, but no roster is in the salary cap era. So there will be a number of coaches that would love this job. With that said, one of the questions I would ask if I was a head coaching candidate, I am replacing somebody that went 98 and 50.
Right.
How are you going to assess my performance?
Josh Allen will be involved in the coaching search. Meanwhile, he may need right foot surgery soon, not expected to impact his availability for OTAs. Baseball, Yankees and outfielder Cody Bellinger agreed on a 5-year, $162 million contract, reports ESPN's Jeff Passan.
Hey, it's Michelle Smallman, and coming up Thursday, we know Fernando Mendoza will be the #1 pick in the draft, but just how long will it take for Mendoza and the Raiders to have success? It's Sun Sportsman, like 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
That's right.
Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR, presented by Goodwood Midsexual Wellness. We are here today live in Houston at the Post Oak Hotel for the Bear Bryant Awards. And it's pretty incredible to the first time here. It's been pretty incredible to see all this play out the way it has. We've already had a great opportunity to visit with a lot of coaches, and they're going to continue coming through. And actually, as we start the show here today, we're going to have the great fortune to be joined by Coach Joey McGuire of Texas Tech, who he's chatting with Bob Chesney from UCLA, who we just finished talking to. So as soon as they finish chatting, Coach McGuire will join us here. Big day for LSU. If you haven't heard, Tigers now up to 41 additions via the transfer portal. Princewill Umanmielen, he did clear the transfer portal. He is officially signed. He is an LSU Tiger. So we will delve into that, as the Tigers could very well be done with their transfer portal class. And we'll wait on one more, potentially, with Jordan Seaton. So we'll see if they can land that. But as we do start here on this Wednesday edition of AFR, we're very pleased to be joined by the head coach of the Texas Tech Red Raiders, Coach Joey McGuire. Coach, it's a pleasure.
Great to meet you, man. Yes, sir.
Matt Moscona, we're in Baton Rouge and all over Louisiana. We appreciate you.
Were y'all just talking portal class? Do you want me to? I'm
Please.
just kidding. I'm messing with you.
Well, I'm going to ask you about your quarterback at some point here.
Yeah.
But what were you going to say? No, I'm fascinated.
Man, Lane's a machine, man. I really appreciate. It's tough going through everything that he went through this year and what Ole Miss and LSU and everything went through, but. Man, whenever it comes to evaluating talent, he's got a lot of good people around him. They do it at a really high level, and I mean, if we're ever looking at a kid and they've offered him or they're talking to him, we're doing the same thing because he does do a great job of evaluating players.
So that's a real thing. We're coached, so they offered, we're in it?
Well, yeah. Like, there are some guys that traditionally, especially whenever this world changed, I have not been in college football very long. 9 years, and I remember my first year was we still had the February signing day. You didn't even have a December signing day 9 years ago, and so now in the portal classes there are teams. Indiana is one of them that they are doing a great job at a very high level of evaluating talent, picking the right guys to come in the building. And, we track all of that. You got to gather information, as much information as you can get on these kids, because it's speed dating.
Yeah.
We got beat. Unfortunately, we didn't play well against Oregon. They're a great football team. And we fly home January 1st, and we have 12 transfers flying in that day on January 2nd when the portal opened up. So, it's one of those deals. You got to gather as much information and vet these players to see if they fit in your culture and can help you win games.
You mentioned 9 years coaching in college. I think a lot of people know your story, which is 20 years of coaching high school football in Dallas before going to Baylor and now having the head coaching job at Texas Tech. So 20 years of high school football in Dallas. Who's the best high school football player you ever saw?
Kyler Murray. I got beat by him twice as an offensive player, and I think he's best overall. Meaning, it's hard to argue Kyler because he's 42-0 in high school, playing at the highest level. Nikita Whitlock, who played at Wake Forest, then played for the Giants for a little bit, is probably the best defensive player. And, man, we played some great ones. I mean, Von Miller never beat us at Cedar Hill.
Flex.
And he's a dude.
So good.
Yeah, and so, but Kyler is absolutely incredible. And we played some, guys that had long NFL careers, and I can't argue against Kyler.
Who's the best high school football player you ever coached or coached against that nobody knows?
Well, mine, and they just did a big article. It's a really cool article that they did. Dave Campbell, the Bible of Texas high school football, with Will Cole. So Will Cole played quarterback for me in 2006. Cedar Hill had been playing football since 1932 and never won a playoff game. And then here comes Will Cole and his crew. It's an extremely talented team, the most talented team I coached at the high school level. Went 16-0, and we win the first playoff game, win them all. I mean, he accounted for 64 touchdowns his senior year. Goes to Oklahoma State, really tears his knee up really bad, and never recovered from it. But like Kyler Murray, guys in that watched Will Cole when they were growing up, they're the guys that are going to tell you I'm a quarterback because I watched Will Cole. And so he's the one. I always tell everybody, if he doesn't get hurt, we all are wearing his jersey right now because he was the freakiest athlete that I'd ever seen.
High school football coaches have stories forever.
Yeah,
there's
no doubt.
There's a million of them. I knew you were going to deliver when I put that on a tee for you. That was a great answer. Coach Joey McGuire is with us. You coached at Baylor under Dave Aranda.
Yes, sir.
Dave Aranda, many people in our audience know, obviously, he was a great defensive coordinator at LSU. What was it like watching Dave Aranda as a head coach?
Pretty incredible. I think he probably would say the same thing. So whenever I say this, because he is a Star Wars fan, he's kind of like Yoda, man. Like you gotta, and he's quiet whenever and then he can get geared up whenever he needs to get geared up, and I learned a lot. I've been really fortunate. I've coached for three coaches. Robert Woods, he's in the Texas High School Hall of Fame. I coached for Matt Rule, who if I don't coach for Matt Rule, I'm not sitting here right now, and Dave Aranda, who took over a program and in year 2 win the Big 12. And so guys that are very different, but when it comes to the football IQ are very similar. You're talking about high football IQ guys.
There's so much ground I want to cover, bounce around a little bit. I remember also at Big 12 Media Days this year, you did point out that you said that you wanted to play LSU. Was that just an off-the-cuff thing, or is that something you want to play LSU?
Yeah, I get in so much trouble. I told Marcus Freeman at the AFCA, I said, man, I don't dislike Notre Dame. And he started laughing because sometimes my wife always says that. She goes, you say stupid stuff.
I don't think that's stupid. I would love to see LSU play Texas Tech.
No doubt.
Is this something y'all are discussing? It's probably better to
I would
ask
love
you.
that.
Okay.
And I think that'd be a great deal. But, it was basically people were criticizing different things, and LSU's got an incredible logo. So I was like, that's what popped into my mind. It could have been, man, I would love to play Oregon, or I'd love to play what Indiana's done, stuff like that. LSU, and I know Coach Kelly. I had a guy, one of my quarterbacks played for him at Notre Dame. And so that's really what popped in my mind because, the schedule, I didn't set the schedule. This schedule we're playing was set.
Sure.
Just like
Decades
Lane's schedule is not the schedule that he set. These things are being in advance. I mean, you could probably go in and say Texas Tech future schedules to 2032, and the schedule's up for the non-conference. And so I was just saying, man, I have a whole deal on what I would like college football to become, And that would be one of them of we're already doing it at one level of you've got all these classics to start the season. I would love for all the bowl games to start the season. And you're playing the bowl select who you're playing game one. I think that'd be great for college football. I promise you every one of those bowls would be sold out and nobody would opt out.
True.
And so what a great way to start the season, and it'd be cool Texas Tech and LSU playing.
What would you like college football to become? You said you have this whole thing. Give me the bullet points.
Yeah, so that's one, because I think as we expand the playoffs at some point, you're going to limit the importance, or not the importance, I don't want to say that, but you're going to limit some bowls just because you're going to be having more playoff games. But this is crazy, man. Like, the national champion is going to be crowned January 25th next year.
That's ridiculous.
That is ridiculous. Like, one, everybody plays 0 week. So we move that up. That becomes week 1. In the state of Texas in high school, we actually did this years ago to where you had a 0 week in week 1, and we just moved everything up to week 1 so you could finish the state championship before Christmas. But I'm playing, I keep the 2 byes. It all depends on the expansion, if we have conference championships or not. But if you have, let's just say this year, you would have had the conference champion on Thanksgiving weekend.
Sure.
You would have played round 1 the next week, and then guess what? Just
You're
like they
done
do
on
in the NFL, every 7 days. Like, Oregon kicked our tails. But gosh dang, I wish I wouldn't have had to wait 25 days to play the game, because look at any other offensive game we played and find a game that we played like that. If you look at it, the only team that's won a bye is the team that just won the national championship. They proved they were the best in the country, and they're the only teams that have been able to handle the bye. Everybody else were 1-7 whenever it comes to the bye. I think one reason it's not the bye, it's how long you have to play between games. You lose so much momentum. You lose so much rhythm. I didn't think that was going to happen. I didn't want to use that as an excuse. I'm using it right now as an excuse. I think it's ridiculous, too. Here's another thing.
I think there's a difference between an excuse and an explanation, too.
I appreciate that. Here's the thing that people aren't factoring in, too. The leases of my seniors, they were up. We were fixed to have to extend leases or find places.
Like apartments?
Those guys, yeah.
Oh.
Because they're done.
The semester's over, sure.
The semester's over. We're playing into the second semester on a sport that's supposed to be played first semester. If you moved it all up, you would play the national championship on January 1st. The portal opens up on the 2nd. Everybody's playing by the same rules as far as time-wise, that you're not having to deal with other stuff.
Joey McGuire for commissioner. Say it right here. Let's do it.
Man.
Let's go. I mean, it's totally doable. I'll be curious to see if the powers that be in college football, how long it takes to get to that level.
Yeah.
Okay, I know we're short on time. I want to ask you about Brendan Sorsby. LSU and Texas Tech had a very heated battle. But you're right, the speed dating, it's like, it's a week. It's not 2 years of a high school recruitment. It's like, it's a week. So how did you do this?
You
beat the portal king.
I'm going to tell you, man, I was nervous because a lot of times we've been really lucky/strategic on if we get a kid in and we want them, not let them leave Texas Tech. And he said, he goes, Coach, I gave Coach Kiffin my word that I would come on a visit. And so I want you to know I feel really good about where we're at, but I'm going to go on that visit. And he called me whenever they were literally getting on the plane, and he said, Coach, I'll call you tonight with my answer. I promise you. And he did. Like everything he said he was going to do, as far as like, you have my word that I'm not going to make a decision here or there. I'm going to get with my family. We're going to make it. This is whenever I'm going to call you. He did it, and that was a big get because we did not expect to go in the portal for a quarterback. When Will Hammond blew his ACL, you just in this day and age, the amount of resources that are being poured into rosters, you just, like, Will is going to work his tail off to get back, but you never know whenever it comes to an injury like that when he's going to be back, and we just couldn't take that chance that he wouldn't be back.
Yeah. Coach Joey McGuire, we're out of time. I know you've been generous. I think we've gone long, actually, with you, but we do appreciate it sincerely. And let's see a game with the Red Raiders and the Tigers. If not,
awesome.
in Lubbock or Baton Rouge, somewhere along the way in the playoff.
If we play this year, then we're both really happy.
Wherever it is, if y'all are playing the Tigers, I promise you I'll be there, and I'll run you down.
I appreciate it.
So
yes, sir.
It's our pleasure, Coach. Thank you so much for a few minutes. That is Texas Tech head coach Joey McGuire. It is after further review. Let's knock out a quick break here as we get started. We are at the Post Oak Hotel for the 40th annual Bear Bryant Awards. We got a ton to get to today. Phillip, Fulmer, Virginia coach Tony Elliott, Bob Chesney of UCLA. We have a ton to get to. I'm glad you're hanging out with us here at AFR.
AFR.
GLO, glowresources.com, glowresources.com. They are complete employer solutions. It's Glow Resources and glowresources.com. If you are looking to make your business more profitable in 2026, and why would you not be? Let's just be very honest. Like, we all want our businesses to operate and function more profitably and more efficiently. That's what Glow Resources does. They help you find the people that make your business more efficient. And we're talking about permanent solutions, not temp staffing, permanent solutions. It's Glow Resources. GLO, glowresources.com is where you can find them online, glowresources.com. Listen, if you are, it doesn't matter if it's skilled blue-collar labor, if you're trying to find their professional placement division, all the white-collar jobs, from office assistants all the way up to the C-suite, Glow Resources will help you find the perfect people, permanent solutions to make your business the most efficient it can be. GLO, glowresources.com.
South Louisiana, it's turnaround season, and River Parish Contractors is calling in the best of the best. We're hiring pipe fitters, iron workers, boiler makers, combo and structural welders, rig welders, carpenters, crane operators, dirt operators, and more. If you're ready to work, ready to earn, and ready to build something that lasts, call Big Jake at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
Jordan Faber here with some exciting news. Faber Automotive has officially arrived. We're proud to introduce your new hometown dealership, Faber Chevrolet GMC. That means more inventory, better deals, and the same great local team. Now backed by the trusted Faber family name. Whether you're shopping or servicing, you'll feel the difference from day one. Allow us the opportunity to earn your business.
Fabry Chevrolet GMC. Visit us in St. Francisville or online at FabryChevrolet.com.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I receive at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
Lockmeyer, Deshaun Fagan and Associates has won for our clients over $175 million over the decades, but our greatest success is our clients who have chosen and trusted us to help them. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call. You've got nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan. If you get injured, you could be staring at medical bills, repair costs, and lost income. Life can be turned upside down. At Lockmeyer, Deshaun Fagan and Associates, we'll work to turn your world right side up. Hire us, and like thousands of our clients, you'll be glad you did.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Investing in a new roof doesn't have to be overwhelming. At Pelican Roofing, we offer 0 interest for 21 months because everyone deserves a safe, secure home.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
We continue from Bear Bryant Awards here at the Post Oak Hotel in downtown, I guess not downtown Houston, we're in West Loop, Houston. Very pleased to be joined by Clark Lee, Vanderbilt Commodores. Coach, pleasure, thanks for the time. How are you?
So good to be with you, doing great.
Coach, did you know that had you stayed at Birmingham Southern to play baseball for one more year, you would have played at Alec Box Stadium.
Is that right?
They opened up the season the following year, but you went to Belmont. You missed playing at the Box, man.
That's too bad.
NAIA baseball champion, and you hit 405 at-bats, but you hit 400 at Belmont?
Thank you for knowing that, by the way. That's beautiful.
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
All the years that I've been seeing you roll through SEC media days, I had no idea you started your college career as a baseball player. Okay, give me some deets.
I thought I was going to be a major league player. And
what position?
I was a catcher, yeah. Do you know what happened to me, I got down there, and there was so much pressure. I mean, I'm the right kind of screwed up now, and it helps me in football and it helps me as a coach.
What does that mean?
Just compulsive thinker, But when I got to Birmingham Southern, it was like this. My skills just started to deteriorate. I think what we would say now is I was experiencing the yips. I mean, I was having trouble receiving the ball when I got to Belmont. As it turns out, just leaving, your problems don't stay behind; they come with you. I was having trouble throwing it back to the pitcher. It was miserable, and the team environments were great, and I value my experience. That's what I needed to have happen to disconnect this vision I had, or this delusion I had that I was going to be a Major League Baseball player.
We're going to talk football and coaching and all this stuff in a second, but so I got to know this. So you play these couple of years of college baseball, and then you start playing football at Vanderbilt. Yeah. At the time, Tim Corbin had become the head baseball coach at Vanderbilt in 2003. Did you ever go like, hey, Corbs, you need you need a catcher? You need a guy who can hit 400 at Belmont?
Yeah, seriously. No, I didn't. But Corbs and I became, like, friends would be the wrong way to put it. But, I mean, he was in our weight room every morning jogging. Like, he was there was a Clemson connection there with our strength coach, Coach Johnson, who was our head coach, and Corbs. And I actually think that Coach Johnson had something to do with him being hired there. But whatever the case, Corbs became a mentor to me, and we built a relationship. So even as I got into coaching, because my home is Nashville, that's where my family's from. When I'd go back, I'd hit Corbs up, and we'd go to Waffle House for lunch and hang out. And I've got notebooks full of notes that I was taking from him. So he's been a support to me throughout my whole career.
Could you go to Waffle House anonymously for lunch now?
Probably not. I mean, honestly, things have changed. It's funny. Well, first of all, the blueprint that he put in place for that baseball program, because that program was as below average could be, and he had a vision and he executed that, and now it's become the Vandy boys. So I think there's so much inspiration I pull from what he did and what he was able to do and what we're trying to do. But back to the recognition at Waffle House, I've had incredible anonymity in Nashville for a long time. That has changed in the best of ways, where people are recognizing the success we're having, and there's just an energy around our program. But when the only places where we had trouble as a family would be like if we went down to 30A, when it would be all the LSU fans, and they knew who I was, and I mean, and so I remember being on the beach, and there was a group, literally LSU fans, LSU chairs, and I was like, hey, my wife Allison, hey Allison, just it's not a big deal, but those people are taking pictures of us right now. And she said, hey, that is a big deal. So anyway, we experienced that when we were out and about in the SEC footprint in Nashville. It was anonymity that shifted for all the good reasons.
Clark Lee is our guest. We're here obviously for the Coach Bryant Award, and so there's a ton of coaching tree and lineage and success in life. Everyone's got a story. One of the fascinating things that as I was kind of prepared looking at your career, and a lot of people I think know you coached under Brian Kelly, and you've been on staffs with Mike Elko, and there's a lot of connectivity. You started as a GA at UCLA under Carl Durrell, and then went to South Dakota State, and then back to UCLA. Could you imagine a more polar opposite way to begin a career? UCLA, South Dakota State, but the state of South Dakota, and then back to UCLA. What did you learn that you still carry with you today coaching in South Dakota?
So much. I mean, first of all, I never wanted to live in Los Angeles. That was never but that was where the opportunity was. And it was I volunteered there, and I worked 2 jobs. I mean, it was a great year, but it's a year of hustle. Every day I would drive past the Kodiak Kodak Theater.
Sure.
Yeah, and out in front there were people dressed in costumes that would take pictures for money, and I thought, I'm one bad day away from being in a costume out. That was like my inspiration to keep at it, But yeah, right out of the gate, I hit 2 spots and I never thought I'd live. It's a dramatic difference, Brookings, South Dakota, and LA. I met my wife in South Dakota, so there's the first thing. John Stiglmeyer, the head coach there forever, legend. He'll spend a week with us in training camp every year. He's such a close friend and mentor to me, and there's so much. In fact, Jimmy Rogers, who's now the head coach at Iowa State, was a linebacker for me there, and he took over as South Dakota State's coach. He then went to Washington State, now at Iowa State. So much goodness there. Learned so much from Stig. I was there 2 years. I probably could have stayed there more, but I was. It was like, I don't know, when is the Masters? April.
Around Easter, April. Yeah.
So I'm sitting there in I was the recruiting coordinator at the time. I had this junior day planned, and it was the junior day to end all junior days. I had the meat lab involved, the dairy lab involved, at South Dakota State, and where we kill our own cows or whatever. And and the Masters was on. I remember seeing an advertisement, and there was 9 inches of snow outside.
Oh man!
And I thought I had to cancel the junior day, and I thought, maybe it's time. maybe my time on the plains is done. I went back to LA.
The beach is right there, by the way.
Right.
Like that's you're well, I would say you're about a 10-mile drive, but about a 3-hour drive from the Rose Bowl, depending on the traffic in LA on a given day. I do want to talk some football. I remember. We were chatting just a bit ago about the years at SEC Media Days. I remember your first Media Days. And I was sitting in the main room when you were giving your speech, and you said that Vanderbilt was the best job in the country. And I remember sitting in the back kind of snickering like, I understand he has to say that, but does he really believe that? But here you are, having pulled Vanderbilt to a 10-2 record and on the cusp of a playoff, and it feels like, I don't know that I would classify it the best job in the country, but it might very well be the best job in the country for you. You had reportedly some interest. Did you even entertain leaving Vanderbilt, or is this really the place that you want to be?
I think you always have to entertain leaving, just because I think we always need to challenge our beliefs. And, for me to be, look, I mean, we're here for this award, and there's so many talented coaches that I have such respect for. But the reality is, what this event also is a demonstration of alignment. I mean, this is about my chancellor, my athletics director, the vision I have for our program, all of us getting synced up. At Vanderbilt, we've had to overcome decades of, futility. I mean, just a lack of investment, a lack of care. And so, we've gotten to this point. I think there's more for us. I'd love to see us on the biggest of stages, winning the biggest games. We have work to do to get there. The thing that I went through this fall, where you're working on an extension or, a new contract, and you're also kind of entertaining these other potential places, is we have such deep roots at Vanderbilt. We've worked really hard to establish something that we care about. You cannot just excavate those and plant them somewhere else. So the team and that work we've done means so much to me. As so long as there's alignment from top down and everyone has the same vision for the success we're aiming for, I want to be at Vanderbilt for a really long time. But, I think it's always worth challenging that and making sure, because at the end of the day, when I'm in my belief and I feel like the mission's supported and we're rolling, I can handle results and shifts in the wind. It's a matter of being fulfilled. If that changes, obviously, I'm going to be miserable to be around, and I don't want that for my family. So, fortunately for me, I've got great leadership at Vanderbilt. They're supporting this high-reaching vision that we have. We're still learning how to actualize it, but that's part of the fun.
What does Indiana winning a national championship mean to Vanderbilt head coach Clark Lea?
Well, I'm excited for that program and that fan base. I think there's a combination of things. I think you got a roster that was really well designed. I think they've resourced it well, which has to be a part of the equation. And I think that team has been really well coached. You see retention of coordinators. I mean, how important is it to be able to, retain the people that are responsible for the product on the field? And obviously, the other thing I love about listening to their players talk is just how much belief they have in what they're doing. So it's an example of how quickly you can establish something. And it's taken us longer. And part of that, I mean, Kurt is way further along in his head coaching career than I am. I've had to learn a lot in the last 5 years. I hope that I'm stepping into higher performance in my role, because that then unlocks performance for other people. But I'm really happy for Indiana, and I think it's a statement of what's possible if you're designed well, resourced well, and coached well.
Amen. That's a great thing for college football. There is accessibility for everybody. It can be done. Last thing for you. There's all the conversation about what a playoff structure may look like. Yeah. For Clark Lee, if you could choose, what would be that perfect structure?
Well, without going too creative, I think to get to 16 would be awesome, and I think 16, and it's just the top 16, and now I think the next conversation would be, what does it look like to determine who the top 16 are? I think we got to remove the human elements of this and try to come up with something that's some type of algorithm that tells us relative strength of schedule and all those things that gives us the best 16 teams. Once you do that, I think that you can't make a lot of excuses, and it gives the people that deserve the chance to compete for it all, that gives them the chance. I mean, look, we let Miami in at the last breath, and it's hard to argue that they're not one of the two best teams in the country. And so let it be played out on the field. Let's in my mind, the automatic bids are cheap ways to protect. I think there is no safety here. Let's make it dangerous. You got to earn your right to be one of the top 16, and then you get a chance to go fight for it all.
Clark Lee stole my notes. Let it be known. He did it when he was on the beach at 38.
That's right.
It's a pleasure. Thank you so much. We always appreciate the time.
Yeah.
I know it's a busy day, so thanks for stopping by.
That's great. Great to be with you.
That is Vanderbilt head football coach Clark Lee. We're going to knock out a quick break. We're going to continue here from the Post Oak Hotel. We're here for the Bryant Awards in Houston, and we'll continue on. It's AFR.
After further review.
Brought to you by Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. Get Gordon and get it done. Get Gordon and get it done. As we always say, if you've been injured in an accident, it's not your fault. Do what injured people in our state have done for 3 decades. Go to getgordon.com, getgordon.com, get Gordon and get it done. Gordon and his team, they have attorneys all over the state of Louisiana, so no matter where you are in the state, if you go to getgordon.com or you call 888-8888, 888-8888, there is an office near you. So, look, one of the worst things that could happen if you're in an accident, nobody wants to travel. So an easy thing to do would be just call Gordon. Their team of attorneys will be there to help you. It doesn't matter if it's a car accident, if it's a big truck wreck, if it's workers' comp, if it's any type of accident where you were injured, it's not your fault. Gordon can help. Of course, so philanthropic as well, the many different ways they give back to the communities that they serve. You can always go to GordonGives.com to learn more about that. You know what to do. Get Gordon and get it done.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs. Set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free confidential help now.
Investing in a new roof doesn't have to be overwhelming. At Pelican Roofing, we offer 0 interest for 21 months because everyone deserves a safe, secure home. Trusted, local, affordable. Pelican Roofing, making quality roofing affordable for South Louisiana families.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. We are honored and humbled to receive from our clients in Google. Based on 5-star client reviews, the designation of our law firm is highly recommended. Whether you hire us at all, please give us a call, 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. Injuries happen when you least expect them to, making your life more complicated. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, we know this, and we strive to help each of our clients during these times. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator with a...
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Rolling along, glad to have you hanging out with us here at the Bear Bryant Awards from the Post Oak Hotel in Houston. And Coach Jerry Mack of Kennesaw State's good enough to join us here as we continue on. Coach, it's a pleasure. How are you?
No, I'm great. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. And I was a little unknown of this, but you just told me. So former Woodlawn Panther, LSU Tiger, Syracuse Orange quarterback Ricky Collins is now your guy. What attracted you to Ricky?
Oh, man. So, I recruited Dylan Sampson a few years ago. When I was
you saw my note, man.
But so I used to go by Woodlawn a ton. And we was able to kind of connect. And he was a younger player. He's behind Dylan a little bit.
Yeah.
But, man, I just saw a talented kid. And so we lost our quarterback to Syracuse by coincidence, and just had a chance to get on the phone with Ricky and just kind of talk through, what happened there and, ups and downs, obviously, last season. But also, too, the coordinator there, the receiver coach there, a lot of guys on that staff I knew. And when we talked to them about Ricky, they said, hey, look, unfortunately, he's leaving, but he is going to be a superstar.
Yeah.
And I remember him from high school. I remember some of the film that he had at Syracuse. I mean, I couldn't do anything but just shoot my shot.
It's so interesting, too, because you talk about a guy like Ricky Collins, who was good enough to get an LSU offer, goes to Syracuse, lands at Kennesaw State. And, Coach, I look at it and I go, this is one of the great things about the transfer portal era, is maybe in another era, a guy like Ricky stays at LSU and just waits. But now, my goodness, how a guy like that could elevate the program. I guess the way that I ask this question is, there's so much conversation about is the transfer portal and the multiple transfers good for college football. You're coming from a perspective that's not one of the Power Four, however you want to phrase it, one of the Power Four leagues. What do you think about the portal era and the movement of players?
Yeah, I think it's just like everything else. It's just like drinking alcohol, right? Like having a drink here or there isn't harmful, but when you start to abuse it, that's when it causes a lot of issues. And I think it's the same way with the transfer portal. There's nothing wrong with a young man transferring once, heck, even twice, because you don't know what the situation is. But I do think there should be some kind of limitations on the transfers, especially if he hasn't received his undergraduate degree yet.
Okay.
Because the still the purity of going to college is to get the bachelor's degree. So if they haven't received a degree, there still should be some kind of stipulations put on that. But, every situation is different. People transfer for all kind of rhyme and reasons and things like that. But, hopefully Ricky's situation, didn't have success at one stop, and now he is close to graduating as well. And that was one of the things he was adamant about, him and his family. We want to get the degree.
What, every coach, no matter where you are, you have to have a philosophy of how you build your roster. And I think one of the interesting things is with so many transfers, maybe you're not seeing as many high school kids get an opportunity. What is your ratio, high school portal, of how you, or is there one?
Yeah, for us in our place, it's different strokes for different folks from a standpoint of what that percentage has to be. But we're going to always try to sign, out of our signing classes, we're going to try to sign at least 30 to 35% be just high school guys. I think this year we signed 13 and got maybe one more kind of down the pipe, potentially on National Signing Day. But we'll probably have out our signing class this year, it'll be probably about 14 high school true freshmen to come in. The key is to try to get those guys now in January at the mid-year. I think that is what has changed about college football I've seen in the last probably 4 or 5 years. There are a lot more early graduates in high school than there ever has been.
Is that a good thing?
I really do think it is. When you talk about trying to get a young man an opportunity to get acclimated to college life, get a young man acclimated to how you go about doing business, it gives him an opportunity to really play as a true freshman, to be honest with you. And because of the lay of the land has changed so much as well, where guys are transferred after 1 year if they have an opportunity. At least they're still early in their career where they're just taking general ed classes. And now when they transfer into a university, if they transfer after 1 year, all of those classes will probably transfer over.
How do you feel about, because another thing that's happening more is young people reclassifying to get to college early. How do you feel about that?
You know, that is yet to be seen. The jury's to me still out. I do still think that from a maturity standpoint, I think that could be tricky. You're talking about a young man that maybe enters college at maybe 17, maybe 16. That may be a little too early, you know, just depending on how mature that person is. So I just think it depends on the person.
Yeah. Coach Jerry Mack, Kennesaw State is with. Who'd you grow up rooting for? You're from Memphis, right? Who'd you grow up rooting for?
So I was a University of Tennessee fan, and I was a University of Florida fan.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry, what? How in the world did those wires get crossed?
You know, obviously being in Tennessee, being from the state of Tennessee, I grew up doing my high school years were Peyton Manning and T. Martin.
Sure.
So, you know, University of Tennessee was rolling pretty good during that time. And I played, you know, receiver pounds ago. So, I love watching I love watching Danny Warfel and those teams of Steve Spurrier in the late 90s.
What about NFL? Did you have an NFL team?
You know, probably San Francisco 49ers. I grew up doing that era where the 49ers were really good.
Proximity to New Orleans, no Saints?
Well, when I was coming up in the 90s, the Saints just weren't.
I know they
really
stunk, but
good.
your team is your team. That's why I hate the 49ers. They've been in the same division in 20 years, but it doesn't matter. I still hate them because Joe Montana and Steve Young beat my team all the time. Coach, you got to be loyal.
You do.
It's all about the climb, Coach. It's about the climb. Great season this year at Kennesaw State going 10. You all played Indiana.
Yeah.
Give me an impression of playing Indiana this year, knowing they would go on to win the national championship now.
You know, when we played them, you know, obviously we didn't really know what to expect. Like a lot of these teams got a lot of new players. I think Fernando, that was his, you know, probably second game at University of Indiana. But the biggest thing that I came from that game seeing is, you know, being my time in the SEC in 2022, we finished 5th in the country and played in the Orange Bowl and all that good stuff at Tennessee. I remember thinking, man, this team, that Indiana team was built very similar to those SEC teams that were good, like Georgia when we played them that year in Alabama. They were powerful. They were strong. They had perimeter guys that could make plays, and the quarterback was elite. And what you saw with him, in my opinion, is you kept seeing him getting better and better. When you look at his game one when they played Old Dominion, and then they played us the second game, and then as the season kept progressing, statistics just kept going up and up. He got more comfortable in the system. He just kind of progressed throughout the season. And very similar to how we tried to do with our team. We tried to make it a point. We tried to get better each game. And we had some quarterback back and forth early in the season. And as we locked in and got settled in a quarterback, that's when we kind of took off a little bit and changed the dynamics of everything.
You mentioned recruited. You got Ricky Collins. You mentioned you recruited Dylan Sampson when you were at Tennessee. Are there pockets of Louisiana that you like to recruit at Kennesaw?
I do. You know, I've spent time, been doing this thing 20 years. I've always kind of dabbled and dabbed at some places that I've been in the state of Louisiana. We signed some players everywhere I've been. They're from that state. So we've always kind of had a look and kind of kept an eye on some guys in that area.
You were with Jacksonville as well in 24, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
You had a couple LSU guys there, some defensive linemen there on the Jaguars. Thoughts on maybe the transition from the NFL, what the NFL experience meant coming back to college? It's so dramatically. You just had such a breadth of experience as coaches.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, the number one thing was, you know, the way they practiced, right? Just to get guys healthy and to keep guys healthy throughout the season. In NFL, there was a lot of walkthroughs. I mean, you're walking through, you're meeting just time, full speed, doing things, even OTAs. That's not a physical, it's not like spring practice in football. It's spring practice-ish, but there's no contact going on in those OTAs in the month of May and June and things like that. So just adding some of those philosophies to our college game, trying to get more work done without as much impact, and just being very intentional about how we went out there and practiced throughout fall camp as well. That was really important to me. Took a lot of those things and the way we do that from Jacksonville.
Last thing for you. If you could, I've asked most every coach we've talked to today, if you could pick the perfect playoff scenario as they're debating this right now, what that format's going to look like, what would it look like for you?
Oh, man, that's a good question. The regular season makes it tough. I think the expansion of more teams would definitely be one thing I would definitely take a look at, right? But I do think, to be honest with you, a G5, G6, however you want to look at it, playoff along with a Power 4, Power 5 structure, whatever. I don't think that's a bad idea, just to be honest with you. I do think, like, when you look at the revenue share and, what teams of our caliber are playing with and teams of other calibers playing with, there is a distinct difference. And there are always going to be levels and layers to it, but it's so dramatically different to me. I do think that if you had one national championship in both arenas, I think that has some merit.
I am all for Jerry Mack to be the commissioner of college football. Then I think I just told Joe McGuire the same for him. Not like it's amazing. Like, you all have the answers. Why don't the people making the decisions listen to all of you? You have the answers. Coach Jerry Mack. Coach, it's a pleasure. I know it's a busy day. Thank you for taking some time to sit with us. I appreciate it.
You guys.
Okay, sure. Fantastic. It is After Further Review. We are here live in Houston, Texas at the Bear Bryant Awards ceremony. We're going to roll along. Earlier we had a chance before we even started live to chat with Coach Bob Chesney, with Coach Phillip Fulmer, Tony Elliott from Virginia. I think we're going to have an opportunity later to chat with Kurt Signetti, Mario Cristobal. Dan Lanning is supposed to be here as well, so we'll continue and roll on throughout the day. We are brought to you by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com, lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. 9 locations, 2 in Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Lafayette, Lake Charles, Shreveport. So check them out, New Orleans at lmfj.com. Yo, Valentine's, we are less than a month away from Valentine's. What are we, 3-ish weeks away from Valentine's? 3 weeks from Saturday. Gentlemen, thrill her with a gift in the red box from Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. lmfj.com, lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Okay, excuse me, it is After Further Review. Whirlwind first hour here as we get started. Let me knock out a quick break. We'll come back, wrap up hour number 1. I do want to make sure that I get it. Elijah, was that our last live? Scheduled. Got it. Okay. We'll come back. We'll wrap up hour number 1. It is a Hump Day edition of AFR presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness here live from Houston.
After Further Review.
We're brought to you by Duplessis Builders, duplessisbuilders.net, duplessisbuilders.net. If you are thinking about putting in a pool, you got a lot of options. There's a lot of pool companies in our area, and there's a lot of pool companies that do beautiful work. You can go look at companies' Instagrams, and you can see beautiful custom pools. There's a lot of companies that do beautiful custom pools. The biggest and Duplessis does that as well. The biggest differentiator when we talk about Duplessis Builders and every other pool company is that Derek Duplessis by trade is an engineer. He was a graduate mechanical engineering from LSU with a minor in aerospace engineering. He is an engineer by trade. And he brings those engineering principles into pool building. And they do not cut corners. That's why Duplessis Builders offers a 10-year workmanship warranty when the industry standard is 1 year. DuplessisBuilders.net. Check them out today, DuplessisBuilders.net.
Trust isn't given, it's earned. Earned by showing up, putting in the work, the hours that nobody sees. I didn't get here on my own. I trust my coaches to lead, my teammates to step up, and when the game is on the line, Our Lady of the Lake to keep me healthy and on the court. Because it takes a champion to care for a champion. I trust the Lake.
From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I'm lawyer Collins Locke Meredith. Among the most important factors to consider when you're hiring an injury attorney is trust. You trust your attorney will put your interest first, treat you with respect, fairness, and honesty. You trust them to be there for you when you need them. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates, thousands of clients have trusted us to represent them, and for good reasons. Please visit us at LockeMeredith.com to learn more, and whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs. Set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free confidential help now.
Most roofers just replace your shingles. At Pelican, we diagnose your roof, digging deep down to find the root cause of your roof symptoms. Now cough for me. Good. We don't ignore your roof's issues, we address them. Let's just take care of this right here. Helping your roof to become the best version of itself. Interesting that you would say that.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Wrapping up hour number one, and glad to have you hanging out with us here. Live in Houston, Texas today. We're at the Post Oak Hotel. Beautiful place. First time I've been to Post Oak Hotel. Oddly, I think many people know our family's story. Our son Drew was born in Houston when we knew prenatally he was going to be very ill. We transferred care to Texas Children. So Drew was born in Houston. We lived here for 9 months while he was in the hospital. And every day I continued doing AFR from Houston, and at the time, our friends at iHeart Houston, Eddie Martini, they were Chris Gordy, they were amazing friends, and opened up a studio space for me every day to host AFR. And so I would drive from the Texas Med Center to the iHeart Studios, which were in the Post Oak Bank building. I don't know, a quarter mile from right down the street. So I'm very familiar with this area. But Alondra, you got to get it together. Oh, it's the first time here. This is a beautiful space, and they're having the Bear Bryant Awards dinner tonight, where they'll honor the Bear Bryant Coach of the Year award winner. And as you can tell, there's so many coaches from cross college football at all different levels that are here. So, I mean, amazing to start the show live like we did with Joey McGuire from Texas Tech, who was just in the college football playoff. Clark Lee came and sat with us. We just talked to Jerry Mack from Kennesaw State, and as I'm told, I think we're supposed to have Kurt Signetti, Mario Cristobal, and Dan Lanning as well at some point during the show, although those were all listed on our schedule as TBD. So sincere thanks to the folks here at the Bryant Awards for the hospitality. Very cool thing to be at. So I'm laughing because Alondra has a clock set up under the camera for me to look at the clock. And it's always, like, you could turn your mic on. We've never had this problem. She keeps dropping the phone.
No, it keeps falling.
We've never had this problem
No,
before.
this is a new tripod.
Oh,
so
different camera.
Yeah.
Oh.
Right.
Okay.
So,
you know what you can do is you could put it on top of the camera, lean it up against the viewfinder.
I thought about doing that,
Yeah, no,
but I didn't want it to.
Nope, it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine.
Is it? Okay. We got it.
Telling you.
So I was just holding it.
Ain't my first rodeo there, Delandra. It's after further review. We're glad you're with us. So we have had the opportunity today to speak to Bob Chesney from UCLA, Phillip Fulmer, who will be honored tonight, Tony Elliott from Virginia. We're going to get to all of those conversations. We're also going to talk a lot about Princewill, Umanmielen, Jordan Seaton, and the latest there as we move throughout the show. We are brought to you by the Williamson Eye Center, 924-2020, 924-2020, 924-2020, or go to williamsoneye.com, williamsoneye.com. You want to ditch your contacts and glasses forever, the Williamson Eye Center can make it happen. Just go to williamsoneye.com to schedule that consultation with Dr. Blake Williamson. Change your life today. It's not every day that we can do something where we actually change our lives. Giving yourself the gift of sight, to never have to shove contact lens into your eyes, to never have to grab the readers off the top of your head or off your shirt or your jacket or wherever it may be, leave them by the nightstand just to be able to see. It's an amazing gift. The Williamson Eye Center can make it happen. 924-2020 or williamsoneye.com. All right, y'all, it is after further review. Let's get you caught up on national headlines with SportsCenter. We'll come back, and I want to take a moment and kind of get caught up and give some reaction to LSU's portal class, which seems finished, but maybe one big more.
AFR.
We're brought to you by Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com. The official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints is Rouse's. Was so thrilled yesterday be in Gramercy to see so many of our listeners and friends who came out for the grand opening of the Rouse's Gramercy. Recently, we told you Rouse's acquired 10 stores that they were converting from another chain into Rouse's stores to continue to expand their footprint in Louisiana. Now 76 Rouse's locations from Lake Charles to Orange Beach and points in between. I want to remind you, y'all, of course, it is king cake season. So, of course, if you want your king cake, all the flavored king cakes, or your plain Jane cinnamon like me, go to Rouse's, get your king cakes. But also, Rouse's can ship your king cakes anywhere. So if you have a client, a customer, a family member, a friend, a relative, someone who lives out of state, you want to give them a taste of Carnival, go to Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com. Rouse's, this feels like home.
Jordan Faber here with some exciting news. Faber Automotive has officially arrived. We're proud to introduce your new hometown dealership, Faber Chevrolet GMC. That means more inventory, better deals, and the same great local team. Now backed by the trusted Faber family name. Whether you're shopping or servicing, you'll feel the difference from day one. Allow us the opportunity to earn your business.
Fabry Chevrolet GMC. Visit us in St. Francisville or online at FabryChevrolet.com.
This new year, Hood Dental wants you smiling bigger and healthier than ever. New patients can get a healthy gums cleaning for just $89, plus a free exam and full mouth x-rays, a $376 value. With over 3,000 5-star Google reviews, 5 local locations, and easy online scheduling with same-day care, Hood Dental makes it simple to get started. And for January only, save 15% up to $150 on restorative treatment. Schedule today at hooddentalcare.com.
I have no doubt that Our Lady of the Lake will keep me healthy. They make sure to do whatever they can in their power to make sure that we're 100%. They're constantly giving us resources, giving us advice on what to do. I think that just really helps us be the best players that we can be.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. Propane water heaters are very cost efficient, and the savings are even greater with a tankless propane water heater. We all know that Louisiana propane is a safe and environmentally friendly fuel. So why not go green while you save some green? I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and for more information, visit louisianapropane.com.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. If you're battling an insurance company because of a wreck not your fault and they're not calling you back or being fair, Whether you hire us at all, give us a call, 272-5555, or email Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates. You have nothing to lose.
Hello, I'm Collins Meredith. If you've been injured on the job, you'll likely have a workers' compensation claim, but you may also have a tort claim, which opens up significant recovery rights not normally available for a work injury. If this is you, call us or come see us at Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. 2 days after the surprising firing of Bills head coach Sean McDermott, an explanation of the move by the team's owner. Terry Pegula told reporters he made the decision to move on from McDermott after the AFC divisional round loss to Denver, as he felt the team had hit the proverbial playoff wall, felt the Bills needed a different voice. Leading the search for the next head coach, President of Football Operations GM Brandon Beane. SiriusXM and WGRZ TV Bills reporter Vic Carucci.
So the pressure, I think, is on him for the delivery of success, whatever form it takes. You've got Josh Allen, and you've got a finite window of Josh Allen's ability to lead this team to a Super Bowl. So I would say the clock's ticking hard. As we speak, I'd say the clock ticks loudest for Brandon Beane.
Vic Carucci on Unsportsmanlike. Josh Allen might need right foot surgery soon. It's not expected to impact his availability for OTAs. Baseball, Yankees and outfielder Cody Bellinger agreed on a 5-year, $162 million contract, reports ESPN's Jeff Passan. He figures to slot back in as New York's primary left fielder. His deal includes a full no-trade clause.
Hey, it's Michelle Smallman, and coming up Thursday, we know Fernando Mendoza will be the #1 pick in the draft, but just how long will it take for Mendoza and the Raiders to have success? It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It is AFR. We're presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com. I'm Matt. We're here at the Post Oak Hotel in Houston today for the 40th annual Paul Bear Bryant Awards. Alondra's on site. Muse, Paul, you're back in studio, and glad to have you hanging out with us here. First time coming to this event. They extended the invite. Was happy to come. And it's amazing. I mean, every coach, effectively, a lot of coaches are here, and they are all very generous with their time. And so we're going to have the opportunity to talk to a lot of them. You'll hear from Phillip Fulmer coming up here in about a dozen minutes from right now. Also, still to come, Tony Elliott, our Virginia head coach. The Cavaliers went 10-2 this year, just missed out on the college football playoff. Bob Chesney leaving JMU for UCLA. You'll hear him coming up in just a little bit as well. So we're glad to have you hanging out. Let me take a moment here and let's get caught up on what is the gigantic news for LSU as Lane Kiffin continues trucking along to put the finishing touches on what is an historic portal cycle. On Wednesday, early morning hours Wednesday, Princewill Umanmielen, his name did in fact appear in the transfer portal. And late Wednesday morning, Princewill Umanmielen made it official, signing with LSU. So LSU adds the leading sack getter from Ole Miss this past season, and this one was a little tenuous if you didn't follow along throughout the process. For Umanmielen, he declared his intention to go in the portal after having already signed his rev share agreement to return to Ole Miss next year. So Ole Miss, late last week, delayed, intending to hold him to his signed agreement. Well, obviously, if a player wants to go in the transfer portal, and they have a signed agreement, you could have a paid buyout, which is the case here with Princewill Umanmielen. As I understand it, it is going to be about a mid-six-figure, $500,000 or thereabouts buyout for Princewill Umanmielen. As I understand, that money is to come from the revenue share. So LSU is going to buy out Princewill Umanmielen's contract with Ole Miss and then pay him a seven-figure deal to be here at LSU in 2026. On the field, we can have the financial conversation, similar to like we've had with Jordan Seaton. You could have the financial conversation. Is it worth investing that much in one player, committing the money to the buyout? We can have that conversation. And if you can afford it, okay. It's almost like the Dodgers in Major League Baseball. If there's no salary cap and you can afford it, then spend it. If you want to win, spend to win. Okay. The on-field component of this is undeniable. You're talking about a guy that is central casting when it comes to an edge rusher. He's 6'4", he's 245, had 9 sacks at Ole Miss this past year, was a top 100 prospect when he started his career at Nebraska, transferred to Ole Miss, and was outstanding this year. So you have a guy with multiple years of starting experience, SEC experience, is a plug-and-play starter. And when you look at the edge rushers for LSU, you have a lot of promise, which you didn't have coming back or coming in was a lot of proven production. Gabriel Relaford's coming off an ACL. You have young guys that you're excited about, like Dylan Carpenter, Kalaj Cobbins, and then you went into the transfer portal and added a guy like Jordan Ross, who was a former 5-star, the number 1 edge rusher in the country when he signed with Tennessee, but again, just 1.5 sacks in 2 years. And then you have guys in this portal cycle that are a little bit like Achilles Woods, who we've talked about, guys that are a little bit more of projects that you're hoping you can bring in and develop at that position. You had Princewill Umanmielen, and you're talking about a guy that is an immediate plug-and-play guy that's probably going to lead your team in sacks and gives you a guy instantly that can win one-on-one matchups and give you a pass rush without having to scheme a pass rush. So an incredible get here that puts LSU now at 41 portal additions. And the one big name remaining in the transfer portal is Jordan Seaton. And I know this is the one that everyone's kind of keeping an eye on because you're talking about a guy that is not only the best in the country at his position, but also what is a major position of need for LSU. The quick catch-up since last we spoke, Seaton on Tuesday morning did in fact fly to Atlanta. Tuesday night, a lot of people noticed on social media that Lane Kiffin tweeted that he was on the MMR plane. For those that don't know, I know many people who are LSU fans are familiar with Baton Rouge. MMR it's an industrial services company based out of Baton Rouge. The present CEO, founder is Pepper Rutland, who played football at LSU, was a team captain in the 70s. A genuinely good man. I've always enjoyed my brief interactions with Pepper Rutland. But anyway, so Lane Kiffin, I then learned, flew to Atlanta to see Jordan Seaton. Seaton's uncle, who is managing his recruitment, posted on his Instagram a pin from Tuesday late morning in Atlanta. And so Lane Kiffin and several staff members flew to Atlanta to see Seaton, to get some FaceTime, to take one final swing there. And then we later saw that Dan Lanning posted a photo with Seaton in Atlanta. So Lanning got on a plane and went to Atlanta. And Lanning, by the way, is here in Houston today, and we may well have him on the show. But as I've been told with the Seaton situation, LSU did a remarkable job of recruiting him. Remember, he went from Mississippi State on Friday, Miami Saturday, Baton Rouge Sunday. Monday, he was supposed to go to Eugene, Oregon. He spent all day Sunday and all day Monday in Baton Rouge. Monday, of course, they took him to the governor's mansion. And then it was Tuesday morning that they flew to Atlanta, never going to Eugene. As I understand it, Seaton's uncle wanted him to take the visit to Eugene while LSU was pushing not to let him off campus. Joey McGuire was with us a bit ago, and he said it's like that. It's like in the NFL, it's similar in this. Like when you get them on campus, you don't want them to leave without signing. It's like an NFL free agency. If they leave your facility without signing, it's not a good sign. And so LSU is desperately trying to get him to sign without leaving. And they came very close. And as I understand it, Seaton wants to be at LSU. LSU desperately wants Jordan Seaton. Seaton's uncle maybe was having a little bit of a time being convinced, and so that's what has delayed this. I can't tell you definitively at this moment that LSU is out of it. I don't think that is the case. I did have someone very familiar with this recruitment earlier today say that LSU's chances, the word this person used, were dwindling at landing Jordan Seaton. So not over. I talked to another person very familiar and involved in this recruitment who said it's just another opportunity to go prove themselves again to Jordan Seaton. So LSU's not giving up on this recruitment. But I don't know that they feel as good with Seaton no longer on campus as they did when he was in Baton Rouge. But if I do have one big takeaway from what we've seen from Lane Kiffin in this portal cycle, and certainly evidence Tuesday night, is the level of buy-in from Lane Kiffin and the way and manner in which he is recruiting and working is pretty incredible. I don't know if you could pull up the cut from Lane from yesterday when he spoke at the Baton Rouge Business Report luncheon, where he spoke about how this opportunity has pushed him in new ways. He was working very hard at Ole Miss, but this has pushed him to go farther, to do more. And I think this is evidence of it. Because even if they don't end up landing Seaton, I think one of the incredible things that we can all look at and say, man, that's impressive, is that on a Tuesday night, after a 48-hour visit, and it looked like maybe this kid was slipping away, Lane Kiffin didn't pick up a phone. He got on a plane and flew to Atlanta for a couple hours to visit with him, similar to what he did with Sam Levitt when he went and saw him in Knoxville at the airport. It's an all-out approach to build the best roster to try to win a championship. And I think that's one of the things that it's pretty remarkable when you see the way that Lane Kiffin and the staff are working. I mean, he is tweeting at 4 a.m. that he's at the football ops building. And then last night when he gets back from Atlanta, he's back at football ops at 10 p.m. You have a relentless worker, a guy that is pursuing championships at LSU, and certainly, clearly, LSU is giving him all the resources that he will need, like after already signing 40 players in this transfer portal to go at Princewill, Umanmielen as well. Okay, if we have updates there, we'll certainly pass it along to you. It's after further review. Let me knock out a quick break. We're going to let's share a conversation with former Tennessee coach Phillip Fulmer here in just a smidge. We're brought to you by Parrish Construction and Roofing. Tell you every day, do business with someone you know. Go to parrishbuilt.com, parrishbuilt.com. Remember, I really want to stress the importance of maintaining your roof. That we have a great video up on our social right now of Tim Russ, one of our great inspectors and sales reps, walking through potential hazards on your roof, softness on the soffit. He gets up on a ladder and shows how when leaves get in the trenches of your roof, you're talking about a spot where water could pool and that could create damage. All that to say, these are very easy things to fix, and a roof inspection is free. So let us come give you that free, no-obligation roofing inspection for your residential or commercial building, so that way we can help extend the life of your roof, clean your roof, make sure that your roof is safe when storm season comes. We can take care of any small issues to prevent them from becoming very big issues. Parrishbuilt.com, parrishbuilt.com. Do business with someone you know. Parrish Construction and Roofing, parrishbuilt.com. All right, it is after further review. Thanks for hanging out with us here. By the way, hat tip to LSU legend, Louisiana Sports Hall of Famer, April Coulter, who was a guest on our show multiple times during our Football Friday shows over at Don Juan Cigar Bar. April lives in Houston. She's a rep for Sagamore Spirit Rye. And April, I don't know how she knew we were here, but she popped up and she brought me a bottle of Sagamore. So I got it here on the desk with me here at Post Oak. But it was great to see April just a bit ago, and love telling you about Sagamore Spirit Rye. I may just have a little nip later in the hotel room tonight. It's after further review. We're glad you're hanging out with us here. Let me knock out a quick break. Our conversation with Tennessee legendary coach Phillip Fulmer coming up in just a bit. Stay here at AFR.
AFR.
If you're thinking of selling your home, call Darren James. Here's his cell. 335-7666, 335-7666, 335-7666. That is actually Darren's cell. You want to call him, text him, you can do it right now. 335-7666, or you can go to agent225.com. If you're thinking about selling your home, I can't imagine why you would call anyone other than the realtor who literally sells more homes than anyone. Listen, Darren's reputation is earned. The numbers are the proof. Wall Street Journal's listed the top 1% of realtors in America, number 14 in the country. Incredible. It's on the transaction side, the number of homes sold. But the entire experience, the process of selling or buying a home with Darren is just unmatched. Relentless effort. He always says, late to bed, early to rise, work like heck and advertise. Promise you're going to have a great experience with Darren. He's going to get your home sold. Agent225.com.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs, set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free, confidential help now.
South Louisiana, it's turnaround season, and River Parish Contractors is calling in the best of the best. We're hiring pipe fitters, iron workers, boiler makers, combo and structural welders, rig welders, carpenters, crane operators, dirt operators, and more. If you're ready to work, ready to earn, and ready to build something that lasts, call Big Jake at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
This new year, Hood Dental wants you smiling bigger and healthier than ever. New patients can get a healthy gums cleaning for just $89, plus a free exam and full mouth x-rays, a $376 value. With over 3,000 5-star Google reviews, 5 local locations, and easy online scheduling with same-day care, Hood Dental makes it simple to get started. And for January only, save 15% up to $150 on restorative treatment. Schedule today at hooddentalcare.com.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith with Locke Meredith Sean Fagan & Associates. We take great pride in educating our clients about their rights. Whether you're injured at work or while you drive, call our office at 272-5555. Knowledge is power, and you should know your rights after an injury.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan of Locke Meredith Sean Fagan & Associates. When insurance companies have been unfair, we've never been afraid to go to trial, fighting hard to protect your
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
All right, glad you're rolling along with us here on this Hump Day edition of AFR, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Remember, yes, they do ED treatments, but so much more. Hormone replacement therapy, peptides, which I've had a ton of success with. I just encourage you so much. If here in 2026 you want to feel your best, live your optimal life, our friends at Goodwood can help. Yourgoodwood.com. And remember, it's 3 businesses in one. Goodwood is the men's clinic, and then you've got Unique Physique, which are your GLP-1s. That's the weight loss peptide that you hear people talk about all the time. And then Unique Aesthetics and Wellness is the aesthetics clinic. So that's hormone replacement therapy for women, but also laser therapies and body contouring and all that, Botox, all that amazing stuff. It's all there in one on Drusilla in Baton Rouge. Learn more at yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com. We're here in Houston today at the Post Oak Hotel for an amazing event. It's the Bear Bryant Coach of the Year Awards. And it's our great pleasure to be here. It's the first time we've brought the show here, and we appreciate very much the invite. And Dan DeArmond, who is a Baton Rouge guy, works with the American Heart Association as the vice president here at the Bryant Awards. Sir, it's a pleasure. Thank you for the time. How are you?
Absolutely. Glad to be with y'all. I'm a Episcopal Knight, class of '83. Been in Houston for 30 years, and appreciate y'all being here. I was great running around the coaches today with my LSU stuff on today. Like, love it. What's happening here? So, got to wave the flag.
Wearing your LSU stuff with a Coach Bryant lapel pin, so you can serve both in that moment.
It's interesting. So Bear's only grandson is on our board. When I first got the job almost 4 years ago, telling him who I was, I said, Paul, to be honest with you, here's the deal. I'm purple and gold all the way through. He goes, I respect that. We love coming there. I went, yeah, I know you did. But no, it was great. It's great.
They've had quite a bit of success in Baton Rouge over the years, so I don't blame them. But total novice, this is the 40th year of these awards, which is incredible. Total novice, what are the Bryant Awards?
So it's the College Football Coach of the Year, right? So Bear Bryant, as a lot of your listeners know, died of a heart attack about a month after he retired. They wanted to do something to honor his legacy, raise money to fight heart disease, approached the American Heart Association and said, hey, we want to do something meaningful. So that's how it all came about. It's been in Houston for about 35 of the 40 years. So we honor excellence in coaching, both on and off the field. We added a Newcomer of the Year award a couple years ago. We got a fan favorite vote winner. We have a Lifetime Achievement Award and a special contributor award called Hall of Champions. So it's a pretty special night.
Yeah, and this is also we'll talk about the coaches in just a second, but this is also an event centered around, as you mentioned, fundraising and awareness for the American Heart Association, which I know that's your role here. Maybe can you elaborate a little bit more on what this event means for the American Heart Association?
It's one of the biggest events that the American Heart Association has in the country. We're lucky to have it here in Houston, and obviously it's close to Baton Rouge. We have some people coming over frequently to come over. You know, Coach O won this a few years ago, and Coach Saban when he coached us. But it's something that's very important to us. From a regional standpoint, from a national standpoint. And so all the money that we raise tonight benefits the American Heart Association mission, from education to trainings in town, of course, critical research that we do in Baton Rouge, we do here and all across the country.
How cool is it to get I think the validation? I mean, if it's 40 years, of course, since the Bryant Awards, but like get all of these coaches that their seasons just end, portal stuff going on, to all come to this event. How do you all pull all that together to get all these coaches here in this moment?
It is pretty special, but I think, you know, when you reach out and you mention the name Bear Bryant, it stops them in their tracks. Like anything associated with him, they honor that legacy. And let's face it, you know, a lot of younger maybe coaches coming up maybe don't know it that much, but a lot of these guys, all these guys here tonight, all have a very deep appreciation for what Bear did from a legacy both on and off the field. So it's pretty cool. So it's not that hard to get them to come. There's some scheduling stuff, as you talked about. I know a lot with portals and recruiting and things like that. But Houston's a pretty good recruiting bed. So as I'm sure all the coaches are telling you, some of them have been around. They did spend some time recruiting, and well, they should, you know.
Yeah, I was asking Coach Mack just a little bit ago about recruiting Houston, and I think he told me he spent some time coaching at Rice. So he's got a lot of pockets here already. That
he does. I ran into him last night. I once again had my LSU shirt on. And goes, yeah, I know. I'm recruiting over there too. But okay, now stay out of Baton Rouge, Coach.
He's had some success. So we were talking to him when he was at Tennessee. He recruited Dylan Sampson from Dutchtown, and actually that's when he saw Ricky Collins, who just transferred from Syracuse to Kennesaw State. So it's the whole thing. The connective tissue is always fascinating in coaching. And Dan DeArmond's with us here, the vice president of the Paul Bear Bryant Awards. So I know we had a chance to talk to Coach Fulmer. Yeah. Who else is being honored tonight?
Well, we're honoring the memory of Mike Leach, Coach Mike Leach. His widow Sharon will be here along with their family. So what Mike did, as your listeners know, was obviously he was an innovator. He was a different sort of a coach. When you look at his tree, it's pretty amazing. So what he did, it really changed the game. We're very fortunate that one of his limbs off his tree, former assistant Sonny Dykes, TCU's head coach, will be here. So he's going to come up and say a few words about what Coach Coach Leach meant to the sport and coaching. Yeah,
that's amazing.
Yep.
You know, if I have the website up here, it's BryantAwards.org. If you want to learn more, BryantAwards.org. If people are listening, they want to learn more, they want to help, or want to help the American Heart Association, what's the best way to do that?
Well, you mentioned it. I just go right on the front page. You see it. There's a donate button, and like you said earlier, we're raising money here tonight, and all the proceeds benefit that. So if you're a college football fan and appreciate it, and let's face it, we've all been touched by heart disease, either directly or somebody in our family. So we'd appreciate the consideration. So click that button, and all donations are welcome.
Yeah, my son's a 2-time Zipper Club member, so
wow.
we're very familiar as well.
Yeah. My father and sister are also survivors. So yeah.
You know, but you're right. I think everybody knows somebody who's been touched by heart disease in some form or fashion. Last year at the there was a Go Red for Women luncheon benefiting the American Heart Association in Baton Rouge that we participated in.
Thank you for doing that.
Of course, if people maybe don't know, last thing, it's saying, okay, we're giving money to the American Heart Association. What does that do?
Yep, that's a beautiful thing. So I mean, a lot of the money that were donated, in Baton Rouge and Houston, or whatever, stays in those communities from education, from training, CPR training. At the American Heart Association, one of the things that we want one person in every household in America to know hands-only CPR. We actually spend a lot of time with these coaches and with these teams. We'll go and we'll do trainings for their players. Of course, I mean, at LSU and everybody across the country, they've got great trainers, right? But these student athletes, they go home. They've got roommates, they've got family members, so they're going to know that life-saving skill. So that's where the funds go.
Yeah, great point. How the Tigers are going to be next year? You feeling good?
You tell me.
I mean, I know what
I'm optimistic, and as you know, there's a huge LSU fan base here in Houston, and we get pretty excited about it. So, personally, I think it would be great if we have a great season. Lane does great. We win a national championship. He comes here next year and accepts this award. I'd love it. Nothing more.
I'd love to be sitting in this very spot.
Me too.
For that exact same thing.
Me too.
Dan DeArmond, the Vice President of the Bear Bryant Awards. Thank you for having us. Thank you for the time.
Appreciate you so much.
Of course, it is our pleasure. It is after further review. We're here in Houston at the Post Oak Hotel for the Bryant Awards here tonight. We're excited to be here. Love telling you about our friends over at Evamore, EVAMOR, Evamore.com, Evamore.com. Natural artesian water, a Louisiana product. One of the things I always stress. And by the way, they have national distribution. So yes, Evamore, the plant, the well, the artesian well is right there on the North Shore in Covington. Actually, the facility is built around the well. When you drive onto the property, you see it right there where they pipe the water out of. But they have national distribution. So when you drink Evamore, you're supporting a Louisiana business, a Louisiana product. It is Evamore, EVAMOR, Evamore.com, Evamore.com. You can buy it online at Evamore.com, or you can find the great local retailers that sell it near you. Just go to the website, find a store, type in your zip code, and it'll pop up right there at Evamore.com. EVAMOR, Evamore.com. All right, y'all, it is after further review, and we're glad to have you hanging out with us here. Been a jam-packed show. We're about halfway home. If you missed it as we started the show today, Texas Tech head coach Joey McGuire was here. Vanderbilt head coach Clark Lee was here. We chatted with Coach Mack from Kennesaw State, who's here as well, as we started the show, and still a ton to do. Let me knock on a break. Come back. As you heard Dan mention, Phillip Fulmer being honored, Lifetime Achievement. You'll hear our conversation with Coach Fulmer. And the worst loss of his coaching career. His words, not mine. You'll hear it next. Coming up here, it's AFR.
AFR.
We're brought to you by Clegg's Nursery with 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area. By now you know where they are. Siegen Air Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. Tell you every day to buy local and shop local. So with the cold weather event coming up this weekend, I think it is important to know that at Clegg's they do have frost protection cloths to protect your plants, and pipe wrap and faucet covers to protect your exposed water pipes. So, look, I mean, we don't deal with freeze as well. We're not equipped for it. It don't happen a lot here. So, in Louisiana. So, get everything wrapped, get those pipes protected before the cold weather gets here, get your plants protected. Clegg's has everything you need. So, get by any of the 4 locations: Siegen, Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, and then Greenwell Springs. So get on by and tell them Matt sent you in. Buy local, shop local. Tell them Matt sent you in when you go see our friends at Clegg's Nursery.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith with Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates. We take great pride in educating our clients about their rights. Whether you're injured at work or while you drive, call our office at 272-5555. Knowledge is power, and you should know your rights after an injury.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan of Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates. When insurance companies have been unfair, we've never been afraid to go to trial. Fighting hard to protect your rights, we never settle a case out of convenience. We only settle when it's right for you. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call.
Most roofers just replace your shingles. At Pelican, we diagnose your roof, digging deep down to find the root cause of your roof symptoms. Now cough for me? Good. We don't ignore your roof's issues, we address them. Let's just take care of this right here. Helping your roof to become the best version of itself. Interesting that you would say that. How does that make you feel? So call Pelican Roofing for your free roof checkup today.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I receive at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit LouisianaPropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Glad to have you back with us here. It is our pleasure to welcome aboard with us longtime Tennessee head football coach and national champion, Coach Phillip Fulmer. Coach, it's a pleasure. How are you?
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Coach, I preparing for a conversation with you. Your career has spanned decades, and you've done so much. It's so hard to know where to start. So I just thought it's almost like I just want to listen to you tell stories. So if I said, okay, for our audience all over Louisiana, Monday night post Katrina, Tennessee comes in. What's the first thing you remember about that day in that game?
Rick Clausen had the game of his life.
Me
right?
too, unfortunately. That was such an odd scenario. Hey, are there other things that stand out about that?
Yeah,
game?
We came down on game day. We went to the hotel that morning after coming off the airplane and relaxed a little bit, but we didn't. There's no routine. Which, how coaches are. They want everything to have a routine about it. And our game day was gone, from that standpoint. But the kids did a great job of focusing. We obviously playing there is incredible. I always loved that game, either home or away. It was a big game, and people were excited about playing it. We probably wasn't as good a team as LSU, but we only had to play better than them that day, and our team did really well.
You mentioned home and away. There was a couple in Atlanta as well.
That's a dagger. My worst loss as a head football coach was that 2001 football game. It cost us a chance to play for the national championship in the Rose Bowl with Miami, and we did it to ourselves. But they played great, and we couldn't get out of our way. It seemed like there with the turnover late and fourth down and 1, and we've got it made. And we dropped the ball right there. So, not that I remember it all, right?
Oh, I remember that very well. I was a student at LSU, and that was a time where Atlanta felt like forbidden fruit to LSU fans, which shows how there's sort of this evolution in football. What about 07? That was the crazy Les Miles, have a great day speech and all. You had to play a backup quarterback at Ryan Perilou. Was that a game that stands out for any reason in particular?
The championship game, yeah. The fake punt stands out. That was a great call and something we didn't do very well. Yeah, those were two really tough losses in your career. You find a few that you just wish would go away. They don't go away.
Well, all the losses, Coach.
Les himself was a character, you know.
Oh yeah. Did you all get along? Did the coaching fraternity all get along?
No, we did. We had to some degree publicly, but always, everybody has their people that they are attached to just in life, right? Some better than others. And coaches get along pretty good. If there's issues, we have with the conference and the commissioner, and we address them.
Sure.
And we've had to do that a few times.
I'd imagine. We're here at the Bear Bryant Awards, and you're going to be honored tonight, which is incredible. And I think about this sometimes. As parents, our legacy tends to be our kids. I'm curious, as a coach, do you look at guys like Doug Marrone and Dave Clawson and David Cutcliffe, all these T. Martin, all these amazing coaches that have come up under you and gone on to do great things? Do you think about that while you're coaching, or reflect on it now as part of your legacy?
I think more reflection now, looking back. I mean, we're all busy and we all have young families and, growing up, and you're day to day trying to be as good as you can be. But all those guys, and along with Dan Brooks and Steve Caldwell and Shane Beamer,
sure.
Those guys, they all were part of what we did together, because we did it as a family. We really culturally recruited that way and went about our work that way. We cared about each other. I very rarely had to release somebody for one reason or another. There were a couple along the way, but we wanted it to be that way.
I got a couple more minutes here with Coach Phillip Fulmer, good enough to spend time with us. We talk so much about Coach Phillip Fulmer. I was preparing and I was looking through your bio and your career. I ran across Phillip Fulmer, the player, and man, what an incredible run. From 69 to 71, you all went 30-5 under Coach Dickey, and you played in the 1971 Sugar Bowl against Air Force?
Air Force, yeah.
Air Force in the Sugar Bowl? Yeah. So New Year's Day at Tulane Stadium in New Orleans. Tell me something about that game.
To put more color on it, back then there was only about 9 bowls,
right.
So 18 teams that are going to get a chance to go somewhere. And so playing in the Sugar Bowl was a huge deal, and Air Force was very good. Probably not as good as us. We beat the stew out of them, I think, if I remember right.
You did. Yeah, you beat the stew out of them. Was it a cold day in New Orleans?
It was a rainy, ugly kind of day, and our defense was really good. Bobby Scott was Peyton's backup at New Orleans for all those years.
Sure.
Or Archie's backup.
Sure.
Yeah. He was our quarterback, and we had a good team. Yeah.
A couple of more things for you. One, just the honor to be here tonight, to be recognized. But you're kind of at the point where you've been removed enough from your coaching career. What does something like this mean as you continue to reflect?
This one particularly does. You get honored when you're older and out, and you maybe you've had some success, and those are nice and everything. And all of them are good. But this one's particularly special for me because I committed to Alabama. I admired Coach Bryant so much, growing up in Middle Tennessee, and it was closer to Tuscaloosa than it was to Knoxville. And my coach was everybody was a big Alabama fan then. They just won their 66 national championship again. one of those things. And it turned out they convinced me Coach Bryant was old, and he was probably 60, and I was a young prospect, and I decided I was going to go to Tennessee. Tennessee had beaten Alabama, and the young coach and Doug Dickey, and exciting, and Tennessee was excited, and I got sucked up in that too, which was great. And I wouldn't trade anything, but I really honored to be having Coach Bryant's name anyway attached to mine. I'm thrilled about that. Big circle for me,
That's an amazing accomplishment, an amazing career. It's our pleasure to be have a few minutes with you today. We can't thank you enough for stopping by.
Thank you for having me.
It's our pleasure. That is Phillip Fulmer, our conversation with Coach Fulmer just a bit ago. We are brought to you by Parish Restoration, parishrestoration.com. Parishrestoration.com, kill mold, remove odor, rainy weather, you got water intrusion. You could have mold. You could have mold in your walls you're not even familiar with because, let's be honest, Louisiana is the mold capital of the world. It tends to be wet and humid. That is a breeding ground for mold. Have mold or think you might, parishrestoration.com, parishrestoration.com. They'll come, they'll spray their patented non-toxic dry fog. They'll knock out mold, dozens of other harmful pathogens as well. So if you want to sanitize your space, parishrestoration.com. That's parishrestoration.com. From your vehicle, your home, giant commercial buildings, doctors' offices, churches, schools. You want to sanitize a space where you got cold flu viruses going through, Parish Restoration can help. Parishrestoration.com, parishrestoration.com. Okay, y'all, our Hump Day show is brought to you by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness, yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com. If you're just jumping aboard with us live, we're here in Houston today at the Post Oak Hotel for the 40th annual Paul Bear Bryant Awards. Phillip Fulmer will be honored tonight with a Lifetime Achievement. But so many coaches across the college football landscape are here, and we're excited to be here to continue bringing some of these conversations. I did chat. We are going to have Russ Mitchell join us for our season recap, something we typically do on the Wednesday after the national championship. So Russ is set to be with us at 5:15 Central, so here in about 35 minutes or so. Let me knock out a quick break. We'll come back, wrap up hour number 2. Our conversation with Virginia head coach Tony Elliott is one I think you're really going to enjoy. That's next here on AFR.
AFR.
Hey, it's not too late. It's not too late to call River City's 1 Hour Air for that heater safety check. If you haven't done this yet this season, it's time. Because you should do it every year. If you didn't have your heater safety check last year, it's really time. If you can't remember the last time you had your heater inspected, brother, it is way long overdue. Call this moment. 752-0001, 752-0001, 752-0001, 752-0001. Call. You'll talk. I promise. Call right now. You will talk to a living, breathing human. You're not going to get a robot. You're not going to get AI. You're going to talk to a human that will help you schedule. They will send a technician to your house, and they will make sure that your heater is safe, efficient, and will extend the life of your unit. 752-0001 for River City's 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time, or you don't pay a dime.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs, set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free, confidential help now.
Who bears the standard? Who sets the bar? It's not those satisfied by low-hanging fruit or by taking it easy. No, the standard is set by the best of us, by those who work hard. Dig deeper. Give more. At Sunshine, we're proud to provide John Deere products that work hard for you, the standard bearers. Find the dealer nearest you at sunequip.com.
I definitely trust the lake to take care of my body. Being the smallest person on the court, I just have to be in a lot better shape than everyone else, just being quicker and faster. Just having that trust on and off the court is going to help you win a lot more games.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
South Louisiana, it's turnaround season, and River Parish Contractors is calling in the best of the best. We're hiring pipe fitters, iron workers, boiler makers, combo and structural welders, rig welders, carpenters, crane operators, dirt operators, and more. If you're ready to work, ready to earn, and ready to build something that lasts, call Big Jake at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgu.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
The review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Back here from the Bear Bryant Awards at the Post Oak Hotel in Houston. Got you caught up on the chair, Coach?
Oh, exactly where I want to be. Yep, it's perfect.
Coach Bob Chesney is good enough to join us. By the way, Colmont, Pennsylvania?
Yeah, Colmont.
Okay,
Yep, Colmont, Pennsylvania.
2,758 people.
That's right.
Wikipedia lists Joe Baskey, George Evans, a comic book artist, and Bob Chesney as the three most notable people from Colmont. Are you the most famous person in the history of your town?
I don't know. Joe Baxey back in the day was a legendary fighter and did a whole lot of stuff out there. I'm sure he had a lot more, more juice than I do.
I don't know.
Yeah. The next town over, pretty cool is another town called Mount Carmel, and Brett Veach currently, who's the GM of the Chiefs, works over there. So he and I are pretty close and keeping good contact, and just a lot of really proud, hardworking, tough people come out of there. Over the summers, I literally mined coal was one of my jobs to do. And it's just what you did. Everybody kind of did it and bought in and believed in that town and added value. And that's what a lot of similarities to what you're trying to do within college football.
But it's interesting because your entire career, as I look at it, Salve Regina in D3, Assumption, Holy Cross, JMU, you're an East Coast guy.
Yeah.
And now, boom, LA.
Yeah.
How's that different? Aside from the obvious, it's a beach.
Yeah, geographically, it's different. The weather's significantly different. My wife called me the other day. She said, it's 7. Our pipes are bursting. I said, well, it's 77 and sunny, and it seems to be that way every single day I wake up out here. So that's a little different. No, but there's definitely a lot of differences. And I think for me, to have all the connections like we have on the East Coast and to recruit there my entire life and to be just, just interlocked within those communities was something that you're kind of walking away from in a way, but you're allowing to still have those connections on the East Coast, but also you have to diversify and find, people that know the West Coast really well. So now in college football, it's a little different than assembling just a staff. You now have a recruiting department, and the majority of our recruiting department's coming out of West Coast ties. Our GM is a West Coast guy. And then we hired 2 or 3, guys on offense and defense as far as positional coaches that have those West Coast ties as well. So I wanted to keep a lot of it similar so that we didn't have to redo the entire thing and everybody have to learn from each other. Our offense, defense, special team, strength and conditioning quarters are all the same. And then we knew we had to supplement some West Coast guys in there and also use that in the recruiting department. So there's a lot of differences. I think the thing with UCLA is it's the #1 public school in the country and most applied to school in the entire United States of America. So I think to look and think about the New Jersey, the prep schools, or you think about the New England, boarding schools, you think about a lot of the things that you had connections to on the East Coast, it still travels when you're going to the #1 public school in the country and most applied to school in the country.
And you're also talking about geographically in the Big Ten, playing a bi-coastal schedule. I guess you have to embrace everything as a positive, but what positives, what challenges arise that you're discovering here as you sort of peel back the layers of the onion at UCLA?
Well, I think what you start with is you just say, what you always have to compare yourself to everyone else in the league. Where are you at? Where are you at as far as revenue share and NIL and third party, generated revenue? All the things that come with it are really questions you got to ask. And when you get into these recruiting battles, you don't really know until you have a chance to win a couple or lose a couple. And then you quickly understand that maybe people are playing a little bit differently. So that's important to just truly identify all the strengths and weaknesses of your program. But yes, to be bi-coastal and be able to be out here and play in Maryland and then play at Penn State and play in places where a lot of those guys, grew up and have affinities for, you still have an opportunity to put them in position where they could still see those places and be there. And again, with the number one public education in the world.
So where are you in all those places?
Yeah. So as far as the recruiting and everything else is where we ranked. Yeah. I mean, that's still a deep dive that we're in the midst of right now. I think we have a pretty good understanding of just where we're at. I think we got to get a better understanding of where everybody else is at. We need more, like everybody else needs more. You get to the end of it and there's 3 or 4 kids you wish you could get and you just can't afford to get them. So I think that I'm sure everybody runs through that same exact scenario.
What is the and Bob Chesney's our guest, your head coach at UCLA, for a few more minutes. So, what is everyone is going to use the example of Indiana, right? Yeah. And UCLA has a far more historic program and wins. You have a lot of that tradition baked in, but Indiana showed it's possible.
Yeah,
like no matter who you are, it's possible. So, what do you think are the things? As you start to build your thesis of how UCLA is going to get there, what are the things that you're checking the box on?
Well, one thing that stands out to me with, I followed Coach Signetti at James Madison. Right. So I have a general idea of, a lot of the inner workings of that program. And for me, we ended up having to bring in 67 kids in the first year and we won our first ever bowl game. And then the next year went into 12-team playoff, right? I think with 50 some new guys again. So the question's not acquiring the talent. It's making sure that it's aligned, right? That they all believe in the same things. And that was one thing that we did not relent on at JMU. And we did not relent on in this last class that we just brought into UCLA. It was really important for me to sit there and say to you, you're coming here because you intend to win a Big Ten championship, but you will also put your team, your teammates, and then yourself dead last. So team, teammate, self. And my focus is on winning a Big Ten championship. I think the same rings true when you listen to those guys at Indiana talk. They all talk about the team and what they would do for that team. And I think when you're in a situation where people came here for money or came here for just location or came here for just one thing or the other, when it gets tough, you run to your purpose, right? And if our purpose could be, we intend to win a Big Ten championship and we're going to put our team, our teammates, then ourselves last. When it gets tough, we run to that. And when we run that way, right, and you get closer together and you continually find ways to give to other people, you got a chance. I think that's living, breathing proof of it, when you look at the Hoosiers.
Had you been to the Rose Bowl before you got hired?
I had not been to Rose Bowl before I've been hired. Nope.
So what are you had to go see it by now. What are your impressions walking up? LSU played there a few years ago. It's got to go do broadcasts at the Rose Bowl. The LSU UCLA played at home in 21, and then the return trip to Baton Rouge was 24. So you missed that one. You missed the trip to Baton Rouge. Yeah. It's about 800 degrees, so you didn't miss much. Yeah. But seeing the Rose Bowl, your impressions?
Well, I just think it's, the granddaddy of them all. I think when you look at that facility, you walk through that tunnel and you just, could feel the aura that comes off of that place and just the history. And not only for football, so many great moments, when you look around that inside there and just see the moments that happened in there. I think the U.S. women's national team when Brandy Chastain rips off her, that's one of the things, that just is in most recent memory, but there's so many more. And I think that, the fact that you're playing at that place, and I didn't realize how it's positioned with the hills around it. And it just sits in this most beautiful area. And I was there for the Rose Bowl game. I got to go down on the field and it was one of the days where it rained, which it doesn't really rain. I said to them, I said, what's your plan for, they go, we don't have a plan for the rain. It has never rained in the history of the Rose Bowl. It's raining this one time and we're just going to get through it. Like we're not going to build a plan because this is a, anomaly. So
I'm from Coltmont. I'm used to this.
No doubt. So it was one of those, it was just really, really cool to just feel it and see it, and then just to watch a game go on and imagine it, in a crowded stadium like it was. And I know that we haven't been able to do that in recent history, but that's my job, is to get out there and make sure that we're able to do that.
I watched LSU lose to UCLA at the Rose Bowl. I did not have a great memory of a beautiful stadium. The whole day was great. Yeah. We had a good weather for that day.
I'm sure.
The game itself didn't play out super great for the good guys. What is, I know we got to go in a second. What is Cowboy U?
Nothing even worry about.
Do you get asked about this?
I do. Yeah. So long and short, it was a little while back. It was probably 2006. I had friends that were in this Philadelphia casting company. Okay. And I was trying to go on a vacation. I was making, I think, $15,000 a year at that point in time. So I wanted to go on a vacation, but I wanted to not go to the beach. I wanted to go out into some ranch somewhere. And I've been seeing these things pop up. So I looked at the price tag. I'm like, well, it costs $10,000 to do. I can't do that. And I was talking to them. They said, well, there's a TV show coming out. If you want to, send in a video here for this. We'll help you make it and we'll do it. And I got selected to go on this show. I was out there for 27 days in the middle of the mountains, of the Rocky Mountains. And it was, you had to get up every day, shower outside, make a fire to cook your own food. And then there were events. I rode a bull, wrestled steer, learned how to shoot guns off horseback, learn how to rope and all the things that come with it. So just a little different, a little bit different. That happened a long, long time ago, though. But
everybody's got a story. And now the guy from Cowboy U is the head coach at UCLA. He's up Bob Chesney. It's a pleasure, Coach. Thank you for the time.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thoroughly enjoyed our conversation with Bob Chesney. And as we start hour number 3, we're going to visit with Tony Elliott from Virginia, which a fascinating human. And what a story they had this year at UVA. We'll get to that in just a smidge. We are brought to you by South Point Volkswagen, southpointvw.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at southpointvw.com. I was actually by the dealership just a day ago. Got to see a lot of my friends over there at South Point Volkswagen. Mr. Bill Reinhardt, who he's probably sold me, my family, 24 Volkswagens over the years. When we talk about me, Erica, my mom, my dad, my cousin, my aunt, my uncle, my in-laws. I mean, it's amazing. But we keep going back because the vehicles are amazing. They're manufactured right here in the U.S. of A. They're affordable. They're luxurious. They're safe. And they got a vehicle for every style and need. South Point Volkswagen, Louisiana's largest volume Volkswagen dealer. SouthPointVW.com, SouthPointVW.com, South Point Volkswagen. What's your direction? Okay, y'all, it's after further review. Rolling along here, wrapping up hour number 2 here from the Bryant Awards in Houston. A busy third hour ahead, as we mentioned, our conversation with Virginia head coach Tony Elliott. You will love this conversation. That's coming up. Also, I'm told former Tiger national champion Rodney Reed is going to be here. He's on the Bryant board, and he's going to join us as well. So we got a ton to do as we move into hour number 3. Stay with us here. It's AFR.
After further review.
If you're thinking of buying land, your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. Say it every day. FirstSouthLand.com. FirstSouthLand.com. And this is the busiest time of the year for First South Farm Credit. And the reason is pretty obvious. If you're a hunter and hunting season's ending and you realize, I am so sick of sharing a lease with somebody else, I want my own stinking property. Well, First South Farm Credit can make that happen. So you start by going to FirstSouthLand.com. FirstSouthLand.com for First South Farm Credit. They've got an amazing resource there. It is the complete guide to buying recreational land. The Ultimate Recreational Land Buying Guide is what it's called. The Ultimate Recreational Land Buying Guide. You'll see it right there at the website at FirstSouthLand.com. Start there and start moving toward that dream of owning your own land. FirstSouthLand.com.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar, but instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
Lock Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates has won for our clients over $175 million over the decades, but our greatest success is our clients who have chosen and trusted us to help them. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call. You've got nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan. If you get injured, you could be staring at medical bills, repair costs, and lost income. Life can be turned upside down. At Lock Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, we'll work to turn your world right side up. Hire us, and like thousands of our clients, you'll be glad you did.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home, with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit louisianapropane.com.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. 13 seconds, a missed field goal, the catch. It all added up to Bills owner Terry Pegula feeling like his team had hit the proverbial playoff wall, resulting in what he called his sole decision to fire coach Sean McDermott. Said he felt a different voice was needed after the despair and sadness he saw in the locker room following the AFC divisional round loss to the Broncos. Had nothing to do with discord or disconnect. GM and new president of football operations Brandon Beane leads the search for a new head coach. ESPN NFL front office insider Mike Tannenbaum.
There's only 32 of these, and it's Josh Allen in his prime. This roster isn't perfect, but no roster is in the salary cap era. So there will be a number of coaches that would love this job. With that said, one of the questions I would ask if I was a head coaching candidate, I am replacing somebody that went 98 and 50. Right. How are you going to assess my performance?
Allen will be involved in the coaching search. Meanwhile, he might need foot surgery soon, not expected to impact his availability for OTAs. The Yankees and outfielder Cody Bellinger agreed on a 5-year, $162 million contract, reports ESPN's Jeff Passan.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance can protect your small business with over 30 coverage options, an easy-to-use mobile app, personalized discounts, and more. Get a quote in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Discounts and coverage selections not available in all states or situations.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's rock! Go!
Here at the Bear Bryant Awards from the Post Oak Hotel in Houston. Coach, it's a pleasure. Thanks for the time. How are you?
I'm doing well. I appreciate you having me.
It's our pleasure. We appreciate you for stopping by. You know, I knew we were going to have a slew of coaches come through here today and kind of prepping, you know, to have these conversations. You're just a fascinating human. I mean, I find that, like, I don't know that I even want to talk about football with you. I want to talk about your life. Which, well, we'll talk some football too, but you know, as I was reading your bio and some of the hardships, losing your mother at a young age, then moving across from California across the country to South Carolina, you know, we're at an event honoring coaches. If you look back, would you say that some of those things in your young life formatively led you to coaching or helped you in your coaching career?
Oh, definitely.
Initially, my career path out of college, I would have said no because I wanted to go be an engineer and do that for the rest of my life. But quickly, I realized that I needed purpose. And then the Lord started to reveal to me kind of the things that I experienced and what the purpose behind them was. But what I did know is growing up, I always needed sports. I always needed, some type of team. It was the one place where I felt normal. I didn't have to worry about what was going on in my life. I was just one of the guys, and I could still be one of the guys and take calculus, right? And so I just needed sport throughout the course of my life, and ultimately I believe the Lord worked it all out so that I could end up in this profession.
You ended up at a point after high school going to, I had to look this up, the United States Air Force Academy Preparatory School?
Yeah, I went to prep school, yep.
So did you intend to go military?
No. So I just wanted to go Division I and play football. And so that was the most viable option for me coming out of high school. So I was going to the prep school. And the way they explained it to me at that time, at these service academies, you got 4 years. So there was no red shirt. So this was essentially a red shirt opportunity. And I did well in the classroom, but I wasn't a great standardized test taker. So I needed to improve for the academy standards. So it kind of worked out in both aspects. I could develop a little bit as a football player, take the test a couple more times. And then ultimately I did receive my appointment to the academy and enrolled for a couple of weeks and realized that, this is not really what I want to do.
Was it like you want to do fighter jets? I mean, was that the...
I was interested in being a pilot, but then they started talking about the height requirements and the vision. You see, I wear glasses, so and at that time they weren't accepting the corrected vision. So, but no, I didn't really have much of an understanding or affection for the military prior to going. But I will say that 1 year at the prep school, I wouldn't trade it for anything. Just the what I learned about myself. The importance of accountability, structure, discipline, all those things I carry with me today.
You end up walking on at Clemson. Mm-hmm. You play more than 40 games under Tommy Bowden.
Yes,
of course, had gone from Clemson, from Tulane to Clemson. I mean, that's an amazing football family. We talk about celebrating coaches here. Playing under Coach Bowden, what was that like? What did you learn from him?
Oh, it was an awesome experience. You kind of learn how an organization is supposed to be run. You learn that you can coach hard, but coach guys with integrity, coach them the right way. He was a big stickler on language. That made an impression upon me as a young guy, especially in that day and age growing up. Everything around you was different, but he was coaching hard, but wouldn't use any profanity. And then he made faith, something that was very public to him. In a time where maybe other coaches didn't. So those are things that I learned and I actually take with me as I lead the Virginia program.
From walk-on to team captain and now head coach at Virginia. It is an amazing story. As you kind of have made your way through your coaching career, you spent a long time at Clemson. You're the OC there for the 2 national championship wins against Alabama. Would you rather win a game on a Hunter Renfrow last-second touchdown catch or beat Alabama by a bajillion? Because I enjoyed watching you beat Alabama by a bajillion, if I could just be very candid.
I tell you what, both of them were special in their own right. And when you're in the middle of the game and you're calling it and you're in the battle, to be honest with you, you're not paying attention to what the score is. You're so laser focused on what that current situation is and what you're trying to get accomplished on that drive, whether it's a field goal, whether it's a first down, whether it's a touchdown. So I take them both. But I tell you, the one to Hunter Renfrow was pretty cool because if you remember, we score and then there's 1 second left. We have to kick off. It gave me enough time to be able to come down from the box and actually be on the field when the game ended. All the other games, I was up top in the press box when the game ended.
What's that memory like whenever the game ends, the confetti falls? Where does your mind go immediately?
Oh, man, just a sigh of kind of not relief, but just, man, we actually did it. And I tell you what, that one was the first one. So you didn't know what the next day was going to be like. I think everybody believes that, man, when you win a championship like that, the rest of your life, the skies are just a different color blue and everything is different. And then the reality is you wake up the next morning and they're like, all right, bud, go do it again.
You gotta go
like, hold on. I don't even get 24 hours to celebrate. But that was a cool moment. But I tell you what, all those games, even the ones where you said you're from Baton Rouge, the one that we lost in New Orleans.
That was a fun one.
That was a fun one.
Enjoyed that day.
I know,
Coach.
And I remember we were up for a little bit too, right there in the second quarter.
Yeah.
And then we were driving. And we crossed midfield and two negative plays in a row, and now we punt. And then here goes Joe Burrow and the boys. I think they scored like 5 straight possessions. It got ugly pretty quick, but even that was a cool moment. That was a cool moment because my boys, they wanted to see Odell. Right, they were down on the field. They wanted to see Odell and all the guys, and got a chance to. I'll never forget that one. I got a chance to just interact with Joe Brady. And I didn't know him prior to that, but then we were able to interact. So every one of those games, I take away something that'll carry with me forever.
Virginia coach Tony Elliott's with us. You had a great season this year. You finished the regular season as the top team in your conference. Lose the championship game. Obviously, you don't want to dwell on the negative, but you win that game, you're in the college football playoff.
That's right.
Is there, as we talk about possible changes to the format, is there a format that you favor for one reason or another, be it for the good of college football or for the good of Virginia football?
Yeah, I don't know if there's one that I favor personally. I do like the expansion just because it gives more teams opportunity to compete, and you kind of see what Miami did. Sure. Miami came from 10 all the way to having a shot to win it, not just in it. They had a shot to win it, and I think with the state of college football, with the ability for players to move around, man, you look at Indiana. How cool is that?
It's amazing.
It's amazing. Otherwise, in a 4-game format without the transfer portal, there's probably not, that opportunity. But, man, it gives more fan bases, more teams, more coaches, more individuals, and an opportunity to have a chance to be a national champ. So I don't know if I know the exact number, but I do like the fact that you have an opportunity. And I think with the more teams that get in it, the more teams will have an opportunity. I think the more parity you see.
I am all for inclusivity and solving things on the field. You want to go to 24? People clap. You want to go to 32? Give me 32.
Right.
I just play games.
Games. You're right. The only thing that I would say is now, because I guess that would have been, you were referencing the one Alabama year. What year was that? I guess that would have been 2018. So we were the first.
I went to 3 straight. So
yeah,
they blend together.
We were the first 15-0 team.
Right.
And now Indiana's 16-0. I'm not in favor of adding additional games on the players just because I see the firsthand effect that it has on them. So if you can figure it out to where we stay kind of where we are, but if you start expanding and going to 17, 18 games, man, that's a long, long season on these young people. And we're also in the development business, right? So part of our roster is not fully developed yet to be able to withstand, an 18-game season.
Sure. It can be done. You get rid of conference championship games. You go to an 11-game regular season. I know there's logistics and there's money and all the things, but you're right. You're right. But there's a way, and hopefully we get there. Before you go, we're based out of Baton Rouge. I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you, when you were hired your first season at Virginia, there was obviously a tragedy there, and Michael Hollins, this guy we all know from Baton Rouge. I would love a thought on him and that remarkable story. If you didn't
man, he's a walking miracle. I remind him that he doesn't like to hear that. He doesn't like for me to say that because he doesn't want any of the positive recognition from a superstar perspective, right? He just wants to be known as a guy that just kept putting one foot in front of the other. But to have him not only, return, but man, he came back and played an unbelievable year for us, and then coached with us for a year after that as a graduate assistant, and he's still in the area. And he's really taken the situation and using it for, I believe, the way God intended it to be used as a living testament to what God can do, because what was meant for bad what we're seeing now is the Lord is turning that around for good. So he'll forever be one of my favorites just because of who he is. And there's some unbelievable plays. And then being able to experience kind of the relationship between him and his little brother Deuce and how that is manifested through all of this, because Deuce was around. He was 10 years old at the time. He was in our locker room. He was breaking us down before games. And so it was really, 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 really cool. And then he also has an opportunity, which he'll continue to do, to carry forward the legacies of Lavelle, Devin, and Deshaun, and knowing that he and Deshaun were really, really, really close. And so he carries that with him. It's not been easy. Man, I can't imagine how he has to battle every single day just to not let what happened, take control. But he's taken control thus far, and so I pray for him every day that he continues to do that. But he's just been an unbelievable blessing to me, to our program, to the Charlottesville area, to the university as well. And man, we're all Mike Hollins fans.
Coach Tony Elliott, this was a pleasure. Thank you so much for your generosity and for your time today.
No, thank you so much.
It's our pleasure.
Yes, sir.
Great conversation with Tony Elliott. It's just Alondra and I were talking off the air. She mentioned that all the guests here, all the coaches have been so good, and point I made is it is a prerequisite if you're going to be a major college football head coach to be an excellent communicator, and all these gentlemen have been, and I sincerely appreciate their time. Hey, we're brought to you by Shawbills Tire and Auto Service, shawbillstire.com. If you need tires, they're going to sell you name brand tires at wholesale prices. And if you need something done to your vehicle, oil change, tires rotated, the check engine lights on, the brakes are squeaky, whatever it may be, bring it to Shawbills. With locations all over South Louisiana, you're never far. And I love the fact that they'll sell you the best tires at the cheapest price, and then they're going to keep you coming back year after year after year because they treat you like family. It's Shawbills Tire and Auto Service. Go to shawbillstire.com, shawbillstire.com to schedule service, to shop tires, to find the location nearest you, shawbillstire.com. Shawbills, where we keep you rolling. Okay, it is after further review. We're here in Houston at the Bryant Awards. And pretty excited about this. Actually, a blast from our LSU past. Rodney Reed, a member of the 2003 National Championship team, is the chairman of the Bryant Awards, and he's here, and he's going to join us when we come back. Don't you move. It's AFR.
After further review.
Our Hump Day shows all throughout the year are brought to you by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness, yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com. Yes, we talk about it. They can do ED treatments. If you struggle with that, they can help. They do so much more at Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. A hormone replacement therapy is and can be life-changing. Simple blood test. It's easy, y'all. It's a simple blood test that tests your hormone levels, that lets you know if you're deficient. And there is not a soul walking the face of planet Earth. Every single one of us, as we age, our bodies produce less of the hormones that contribute to how we feel and how we function. At Goodwood, they can safely and affordably supplement you to get you to healthy levels, to have you feel and perform at your optimal level. Energy, fat burning, muscle building, mental clarity, all of it. You want to live and feel your best? yourgoodwood.com. Check it out online, yourgoodwood.com.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I receive at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
Lockmair, Deshaun Fagan and Associates has won for our clients over $175 million over the decades. But our greatest success is our clients who have chosen and trusted us to help them. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call. You've got nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan. If you get injured, you could be staring at medical bills, repair costs, and lost income. Life can be turned upside down. At Lockmair, Deshaun Fagan and Associates, we'll work to turn your world right side up. Hire us, and like thousands of our clients, you'll be glad you did.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs. Set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free confidential help now.
Most roofers just replace your shingles. At Pelican, we diagnose your roof, digging deep down to find the root cause of your roof symptoms. Now cough for me. Good. We don't ignore your roof's issues, we address them. Let's just take care of this right here. Helping your roof to become the best version of itself. Interesting that you would say that. How does that make you feel? So call Pelican Roofing for your free roof checkup today.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience?
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
We roll along from Houston. We're here for the 40th annual Bear Bryant Awards. And what a pleasure. The chairman of the awards this year is a guy that won a national championship at LSU, a guy who played nearly 50 career games in Ironman, played both left tackle and right tackle, was starting right tackle on the 03 national championship team. He is Rodney Reed. How are you, sir?
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Doing great, and appreciate y'all taking the time to talk.
Give us the catch. So you have obviously a ton, the whole captive LSU audience here. Give everybody the catch up. It was like, hey, Rodney Reed, what's he doing? What are you doing?
Yeah, so been in Houston for about 20 years and work for an oilfield service company now, NOV. The CFO there, and great organization. A lot of LSU people here in Houston, so it's great to be in Houston, and pretty easy to get back home to Louisiana. And yeah, this award ceremony, Bear Bryant Coach of the Year, is a great organization that really raises money for the American Heart Association. So have been part of the organization for a few years now, and had the opportunity to chair the awards this year, which was special because it's the 40th anniversary.
How did you get involved with the Bryant Awards to begin with?
Yeah, well, just through some work with the American Heart Association, and then kind of that relationship went over to the Bear Bryant Awards, and then sort of have been part of the team for a few years now. Yeah.
It's pretty cool, man. Like, to see the accessibility of all the coaches. I mean, it's all the biggest names of coaches in college football, which is awesome. We actually had, you'll appreciate this, head coach Fulmer sitting with us a bit ago, and he sort of lamented. He said, the worst loss of his career. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
The worst loss of his career, says that SEC championship in 01 against LSU. Do you think about that often? How sort of the improbability of that in that game and that run?
Yeah, well, having a unique setup where my first year was 1999, which was not a great year for us, 3-8, and then the last year winning a national championship, and just the journey, primarily with the players and the teammates and the lasting relationships that you have, and then also with the coaching staff. And you see that sort of coaching tree that sort of spread out everywhere across the country now is just a fantastic network. But it was really around the camaraderie of the team and the staff and the overall organization. And that's what you remember. So yeah, in catching up specifically with Coach Fulmer a few weeks ago at a dinner, that's what he said. He said, like, I really thought my 2001 team was the best team that we ever had there, and you guys played super well in the game. So, but just to see that journey over 5 years was great to be a part of.
If Rohan doesn't get hurt, do you think you win the game?
Oh my goodness, I don't know. I don't know.
I know Ro well. I've
yes,
asked him this question before.
Yes, and Rohan was a fantastic leader, and with a new quarterback coming in the game, I think that was. If you go back and watch that game, Matt, it was really more of the sort of quarterback runs and some of the things that you see now. In the last few years, we kind of had that implemented for that game, and so I think stylistically it was tough for them to adjust during the game. But both Rohan and Matt Mock are fantastic quarterbacks and even better people.
That's true. They weren't ready for Matt Mock running the football, and it was so much fun sitting in the stadium that day watching that. You know what's interesting too? It felt like at that time. As a fan, we were both students at LSU at the same time.
Yep.
Atlanta felt like forbidden fruit, like LSU, which is so weird to think now, but it was the mindset. Did you all feel that way? Like, did you recognize at the time? I mean, you talked about it came in '99, Saban comes in. Like, did you feel like you're building toward that?
Yeah. Well, a couple things. One, if you remember the year before, we did have an opportunity to play a bowl game there.
I remember all of it. Peach Bowl, Atlanta,
against
Georgia Tech.
Yeah, which
Tommy Banks scored a couple touchdowns. I remember all of it.
That's right, which was a tough first half, a really good second half.
Yeah.
And so I think that time was a little bit different in terms of just the social media and the access that you have to everything. I mean, it used to be you'd pick up the paper, and that was sort of your only outside lens. So you were really able to be pretty insulated at the time. And so we always felt like that we'd be competitive, but also when you're able to be more insulated during that time, you don't have the outside distractions, telling you good or bad. And if you remember, we had some ups and downs during that season. Kind of lost a game late in the year that was tough, and then won the last couple of games and had some things go our way to set that up. But I mean, it was obviously foundational to what happened the next year and the following year, and for many years down the road.
Yeah.
So
it was an amazing time, man. My LSU years were Nick Saban's years.
Yeah.
What an incredible time to have been there. Rodney Reed is with us. He was there. He was on the field the whole that entire era. That we'll also talk about that 03 team, which of course won the first national championship in 45 years, and everybody has their favorites, and the Burrow team was incredible, and the 07 team was improbable. But you never forget that first with respect to 1958, but the big breakthrough in 03. Now that enough time has passed, Rodney, do you give yourself time to reflect on the significance of what that team did then?
Yeah. So I think when you look back at the accomplishments and really being the first in 45 years, you really had to have that camaraderie and that teamwork. And so I think that's what was special to us when you think back on the memories. Yeah, the wins and the games and the highlights and those types of things, being part of a lot of big games. But you also think about all the relationships that you built. And as we all catch up periodically, it was a couple of years ago, we had our 20th year anniversary, and just a group of guys. I mean, it was just a fantastic group of people who were great ball players, obviously, great in the classroom, great in the community. I mean, just a fantastic group of people. So super proud to be part of that.
Do you get a chance, I would assume through the Bryant Awards, to see a lot of the coaches from your time at LSU, guys that coach who have come through this event, I would imagine? You stay in touch with many of them?
Yeah, sure. A lot of the guys are still around, and we have text message strings together. So it's
with the coaches or the players?
Players.
Okay.
Players mostly, but yeah, no, get to go back and see some of the former coaches periodically, and so that's been great too, and to look at their careers, because I say a lot of those guys who are now have been very successful and won national championships, when they were with us at that time, they were kind of late 20s, early 30s, trying to figure out this sort of coaching thing, and now 20 years later, a lot of them have done very, very well. But
I feel like Kirby was a GA. It's like it's so wild to see.
Well, just the staff that we had there. If you think about Jimbo Fisher and Will Muschamp, and I say we had a couple of graduate assistants that ended up being NFL head coaches. Adam Gase, Freddie Kitchens, and then just the overall organization when you look at just the leadership, overall, just very special group, a very special group. So.
Rodney Reed is with us, former Tiger great, won a national championship in 2003 as the starting right tackle on that team. Now living, working here in Houston, and is chairman here of the Bryant Awards tonight, which is got to be so cool to pull this together. How much work goes into pulling together an event like this?
Yeah, I mean it's a full year event. So we've got a great full-time staff, both with the American Heart Association as well as with the Bear Bryant Awards team, and a lot of hard work through the year to coordinate all this, and some of the things that we've tried to add in to continue to progress the awards over the years as part of the EA Sports college football game. Now we've added a couple of other awards along the way, but it's really about the coaches and the impact that they have, and then leveraging that into raising funds for a very important cause with the American Heart Association, both heart and stroke prevention.
Did you have a tie to the American Heart Association, or?
Yeah, not really. Just when you're professional, you want to make sure that you're giving back to the community. This was a great opportunity to sort of leverage both your desire to be part of a charitable organization and also sports and football. So it was a fantastic situation.
Yeah, man. So. All the things coming together for a great night, and this is a fantastic event.
Yeah.
So hat tip, job well done. I mean, I know that the ceremony will be tonight, but everything has been awesome and first class, and we're really appreciative for the invite to have been here. So,
thank you. Thank you for your time.
Well, thank you for that, and thanks for the time on the show today. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
That is Rodney Reed, former Tiger great, member of the 2003 National Championship team. He's the chair here of the Bryant Awards tonight. We are in Houston for the Bryant Awards. We've had a great show. If you missed anything, catch it on demand. UCLA coach Bob Chesney. We mentioned Phillip Fulmer. Virginia coach Tony Elliott. Joey McGuire led off the show with us from Texas Tech. Clark Lee from Vanderbilt was here. Just a great day so far, and we're not done yet. Actually, I do need to knock out a quick break. I want to remind you about Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Windows, doors, siding. They do shutters too. Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. You know where to find them at the website, ReliefWindows.com. You can call 288-8138, 288-8138, or you can always pop by and see them at their showroom on Airline Highway in Prairieville. So check them out, ReliefWindows.com, ReliefWindows.com. If you need energy-efficient replacement windows to lower your energy bills, hardy plank vinyl siding, indoor or outdoor shutters, they do it all at Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Okay, I want to knock out a quick break. Come back. We have not caught up with Russ Mitchell. It is customary we do that to wrap the season, so we'll do that before he goes into his long hibernation. We were fingers crossed hoping we were going to be able to snag Kurt Signetti or Mario Cristobal. They have not yet made it down, so if they happen to walk by before we get out of here, we'll snag them. But in any event, we'll talk to Russ when we come back. We're glad you're hanging out with us here on this Wednesday edition of AFR, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness.
AFR.
I am so fired up. Had the phone call yesterday to switch my home, internet, cable, etc. to Rev. REV, let's Rev.com. I've told you, Rev, we are Rev customers at Parish Construction Roofing. We are Rev customers at Guarantee Media. And now at our home in our neighborhood, they have finally finished laying the fiber. So we now have all fiber internet in my neighborhood, and we are switching to Rev, and I could not be more excited. Few things in life, first world problems, I get it, but few things more in life than lagging internet or your internet going out. We've all been there. We felt it. It sucks. Rev, all fiber network, now in my neighborhood. I will be able to get the same great high-speed internet and connectivity that I get at work every day and at Parish, at my home. So make sure you do the same. 70,000 Louisiana business owners and homeowners trust Rev. You should as well. Let's Rev.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
who bears the standard? Who sets the bar? It's not those satisfied by low-hanging fruit or by taking it easy. Now the standard is set by the best of us, by those who work hard. Dig deeper. Give more. At Sunshine, we're proud to provide John Deere products that work hard for you, the standard bearers. Find the dealer nearest you at sunequip.com.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit LouisianaPropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
This new year, Hood Dental wants you smiling bigger and healthier than ever. New patients can get a healthy gums cleaning for just $89, plus a free exam and full mouth x-rays, a $376 value. With over 3,000 five-star Google reviews, 5 local locations, and easy online scheduling with same-day care, Hood Dental makes it simple to get started. And for January only, save 15% up to $150 on restorative treatment. Schedule today at hooddentalcare.com.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. We are honored and humbled to receive from our clients in Google, based on 5-star client reviews, the designation of our law firm is highly recommended. Whether you hire us at all, please give us a call, 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. Injuries happen when you least expect them to, making your life more complicated. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates, we know this, and we strive to help each of our
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com. Russ Mitchell.
Kicking the tires and lighting the fires. Russ! Literally.
Well, I'm proud of Russ. I think Russ deserves it.
It's football!
Rusty, come on up here.
Ferris is not a state. It's a wheel.
You know, I haven't had much of a chance to talk to you man to man, Russ.
How are things out there at DBU?
I want you to stay here and take care of things, Russ.
The only way you can point up is up.
Not going in our yard, Russ. It's going in our living room.
Just like Troy.
Can't see the line, can you, Russ?
Put your foot on his throat and choke him out.
Take it, Russ.
One more time before he goes into hibernation. Russ Mitchell, good enough to join us. Fraud, how are you?
Kicking tires, lighting fires.
Ferris finally?
Is not a wheel.
Ferris is not a. No, Ferris is not a state. No, it's a wheel.
That's right. It's a wheel.
Are you finally back stateside?
I am. After following my uber talented 16-year-old daughter as she traveled around from city to city doing the lead in a Shakespeare performance. But yes, I'm back. What a championship game, baby!
Did you really enjoy the championship game? Was competitive, right? I mean, it came down to an interception at the end of the game. Did you really enjoy how it played out?
It was, so, it's interesting because when I evaluated the game and I broke down all the positions, I thought it would be a tight game. I always wait to look at the point spread until after I'm done with my work. So I did the work and I'm thinking 5-6 points and I look at the spread and there it is, right? And there's your game. But the best thing about it is that it wasn't what I feared.
Okay.
What I feared was that it was going to be, Oregon or Alabama. I feared it was going to be. I was in Miami for the Notre Dame Alabama championship.
Yeah.
Where this is not a joke. I finished my column before halftime and then just screwed around. I screwed around for the second half. Went down to the field, came back up, and just plugged the numbers in. That's how boring that game was.
Yeah.
So, and boy, Miami, I tell you, Miami's going to look back at this game and they had so many missed opportunities, man. They had more total yards, every chance. They had more yards per play. You know, they had almost twice as many yards per carry, but they just kept tripping over themselves. They're too conservative in the first half, bonehead pass prolapses, more penalties, more turnovers, and most importantly, the third down conversions just kill them.
What do Indiana was certainly a very worthy champion. They didn't trail in the game. What do you think we learned about Indiana, or maybe a better way to say it is, what do you think will be the legacy of this Indiana team?
You know, and I want the world to know you're not setting me up with that question. It's a great question because I would take, other than Mendoza at quarterback, I would probably take every single Miami. Like, I'd take Fletcher over any running back Indiana has, and I love those running backs the Hoosiers have. I'd take Fletcher. I'd take Malachi Toney over any wide receiver that Indiana has. I love the Hoosiers defense. I love the Hoosiers defense, but I would take Bain and Messidor at edge over Kamara. I'd take Scott over Sharp at cornerback. Only at linebacker would I take Fisher. So the thing to remember here is Fisher, Kamara, Pons, Tucker, they all played at James Madison under Signetti. All right? So when you're looking at Kiffin and the portal, if you trust your coach to evaluate talent in this college football, not your daddy's college football, but this right now, college football, and if your coach can evaluate talent, there you go, baby.
Russ Mitchell's with us at Russ Mitchell CFB on Twitter, X, whatever. Do you trust LSU's coach to evaluate talent?
You guys just signed Princewill, right?
Yeah, he signed today.
Oh, did you see Lane Kiffin? He is so funny, man. He honestly, you got to figure out a way for him and me to get on the radio together with you for an hour, unscripted,
I don't think that's going to happen, man.
Oh, dude, that would be so funny. Did you see?
I don't think it will be.
His reaction?
No, I don't think it will be. See, here's the thing I've learned. Here's the thing I've learned about him. In a short amount of time, he is his most expressive self on Twitter.
Yeah.
In real life, I don't think he's that expressive. I don't think he would be good for an hour with you on radio. I think he would kind of be a little awkward.
Quiet.
Yeah. It's not, by the way, that's not a criticism. It's just an observation. I think everybody's just different in certain ways.
Dude, totally. I mean, look at how many guys who are great football players, great football players, who couldn't entertain. Montana, Rice, Lott, Marino. I mean, it's a different thing. It's interesting, though. I thought Saban would really struggle. At television. Oh, yeah, I
Russell.
did. He's so
You're out of your Brino, man.
He's good. He's good. I enjoy watching him.
There's a reason he was an outstanding recruiter. His ability to communicate. Well, and honestly, Russ, maybe it's just that I've heard enough of the Nick Saban stories being here about him recruiting and his ability to be a chameleon in different rooms. I knew that he'd crush that. Yeah, that didn't surprise me a lick.
I'll tell you, just jumping back to the game quickly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There's a game. Can I go back and change my Heisman pick?
Well, you're the one who always likes to vote before the postseason.
We should really switch it to doing it now. We got to get the game up to January 1st because it's just ridiculous to be playing this game in the middle. How many times you and I have been doing this for 15 years together, right?
Yeah.
I think we talked about this 15 years ago. You can't do this in the middle of the professional season because, you go on ESPN or you go on a national station, they give you 4 minutes to talk about our championship game because they want to talk about, some wild card game or some divisional game. But I was so impressed with Mendoza, just so tough. Those throws to Becker, those back shoulder throws under pressure, fantastic. That run on fourth down, fantastic. The total embodiment of the Indiana's identity, this team identity, you can just hang on Mendoza.
Hey, next year's championship game is on January the 25th.
Oh, my God.
It's a week later.
This is, we are so stupid.
Yes.
I mean, holy crap.
Yes.
The best way I can explain this to you is, as much as college football we all think is the greatest sport, the rest of the football watching country doesn't think so. They think the NFL is the greatest product. And as soon as their playoffs start, the average fan doesn't give a care about us anymore. Like, if I go on a national program, I get 15 minutes on a slot. Once the NFL season starts, 5 minutes. That's it. That's all you're going to get.
Well, you can have 15 minutes here. Normally we do 2 segments. But we're up against it.
I'm overdue for sleeping.
You're going into hibernation. I know that. I'm sure you'll wake up at some point. By the way, LSU signed a really good transfer portal class, and a lot of people are thinking that they're going to be really good next year because of all the talent they signed.
Yeah. I mean, I know you get all excited about this, and I know it's just like recruiting. I know it's important, but I mean, wake me up in August and let me know how they're practicing, because it's all about the product on the field.
Yeah.
So, I mean, look at who had the best portal class last year?
LSU. So let me go back. So let me go back to the point that I asked you a bit ago. Do you trust your coach's evaluation?
I trust Kiffin's evaluation 100 times better than I trust Kelly's evaluation. Not just Kiffin, the whole organization that he's built. Oh, my God, look what he did at Ole Miss. Ole Miss! Look what he did at Ole Miss. And, I got to give you kudos, because there's a lot of stuff you and I talk about offline, which I'm not talking about here. But, I mean, what LSU has built with this LSU, the NILSU and Max and all that, clearly. And Kelly deserves some credit for that and putting that all together with, the whole staff that was there before Kiffin. But what a great job LSU and its fan base has done, and everybody involved in that, to put the team in this position.
They have given him every resource to win. All right, we got to go. Russ Mitchell, enjoy your sleep. We'll talk to you, we'll talk to you in August. We'll see you.
Goodbye, everybody.
See you. That's Russ Mitchell. It's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Arco Power Systems. Arco.com, 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 ARCCO. It is Arco.com. Remember, we were talking about industrial Generac generator power. This is not a standby generator for your home. This is a standby generator for your business. They sell, service, install, rent these industrial Generac standby generators. So you have a hotel, power goes out. What do you need? Standby generator. That's Arco. You have a grocery store or a gas station or a hospital or a bank, any type of government entity, municipality. When the power goes out, the storm comes. We're supposed to have an ice storm. What happens if the power goes out at your business? Well, Arco is who you need. ARCCO, Arco.com, Arco.com. And it's not just Baton Rouge. They have offices up north to Little Rock, east to Mobile, west to San Antonio. Draw a big circle anywhere in that footprint. Arco Power Systems will serve you. Arco.com, Arco.com, ARCCO, Arco.com. All right, y'all, it's After Further Review. We will knock out our final break of the show. Come back, wrap it up with Otter Locks. Jimmy will be here and put a button on it. Been a great show, and thanks to all of our amazing guests, the wonderful coaches who spent time with us here today. And we sincerely appreciate each and every one of you for hanging out as well here on this Hump Day edition of AFR, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. We'll knock out our final break and wrap it up next on AFR.
AFR.
We're brought to you by the Watermark in the Renaissance. 2 amazing hotel properties. Watermark Downtown, voted by you. Not me, voted by you. The best hotel in the best of 225. And then, of course, the Renaissance Southtown on Bluebonnet. Be it Watermark or Renaissance, I want to remind you that if you're hosting an event coming up in 2026, make sure you explore the possibilities of hosting that event at either Watermark or Renaissance. And I'm talking everything from a wedding reception to an awards ceremony, like here tonight. We're in Texas with the Bryant Awards. Maybe it's a fundraiser that you're having. Maybe it's a dance, a social, any type of event that you may be having, a board meeting for a dozen people. Our friends at the Watermark or the Renaissance would love to host you. Allison Crump is the events coordinator for both properties. Give her a shout at either the Watermark or the Renaissance and get that booked today. It's Watermark and Renaissance, Baton Rouge.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. We are honored and humbled to receive from our clients in Google, based on 5-star client reviews, the designation of our law firm is highly recommended. Whether you hire us at all, please give us a call, 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. Injuries happen when you least expect them to, making your life more complicated. At Locke Meredith Sean Fagan and Associates, we know this and we strive to help each of our clients during these times. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgu.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I receive at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. Propane water heaters are very cost efficient, and the savings are even greater with a tankless propane water heater. We all know that Louisiana propane is a safe and environmentally friendly fuel. So why not go green while you save some green? I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and for more information, visit louisianapropane.com.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs, set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free, confidential help now.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Wall-to-wall TVs mean you'll see every touchdown in HD. Place your bets.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Down the stretch we come, final segment here on a Hump Day edition of AFR, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. You can always visit yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com. Been a great show here. Many sincere thanks to all the coaches who gave us their time. Joey McGuire from Texas Tech, Clark Lee from Vanderbilt, Tony Elliott from Virginia, Coach Phillip Fulmer, Bob Chesney going from JMU to UCLA and joining us here as well. Former Tiger great Rodney Reed, who's the chair of this year's Bryant Awards, which is why we're here in Houston. So we appreciate everybody for listening, for watching, and all the coaches who were so generous in giving us their time throughout the course of the show today. All right, it is after further review. We're linking up with Jimmy right now. We'll get to Otter Locks here in just a quick second. Remember, if you are looking for dinner plans, y'all, for Valentine's Day, remember Supper Club. I want to remind you, so Valentine's is on the Saturday of Endymion this year. Now, Supper Club's already booked for Valentine's. I mean, it's Valentine's, it's a Saturday. They're already booked. So you're out of luck on Saturday. But So many people are going to be heading to New Orleans for Endymion, for Bacchus, for Orpheus, whatever the case. You're going to be in New Orleans at main Mardi Gras weekend. Go to Supper Club before. Celebrate your Valentine's dinner before week there at Supper Club. SupperClubBTR.com, SupperClubBTR.com. It's Supper Club. Okay, let's find out what we're betting on tonight. Time for Otter Locks.
Otter Locks.
All right, time to win some money.
Presented by Total Maintenance AC Repair. Same-day service means you will never sleep hot. 480-1000. We are Total Maintenance.
I think it's safe to say that I won the bet.
Yo, Otter, what up?
What's up, Matthew? How you doing, buddy?
Doing great, man. Awesome day here in Houston. Well, it's rainy, but, I mean, awesome show here for the Bryant Awards. Got to talk to a bunch of head coaches. Great day, man. How about you?
Very good. Rainy over here, so getting ready for the freeze later this weekend. Let's get right to business tonight. Let's start off in the SEC and go to Buckyball in College Station. We've been monitoring this team. They've been feisty. There's no doubt, but this is just a little bit too inflated for a favorite here. 8.5 over Texas. I mean, over Mississippi State. All of these are 8:00 tips right now. So we're going to take the Bulldogs plus the 8.5, which are a tough luck loser in the Magnolia State rivalry on Saturday. Lost by 1 at home to Ole Miss. We'll also go with Virginia Tech at Syracuse. 8:00 tip in Syracuse. So Virginia Tech again, man. They had SMU beat. They lost in a half-court shot, and in that one, they bounced back with a nice win against Notre Dame, covered easily. I'd like them to win the game in this one, plus about 35-40 if you can get it, but plus 3.5 is the spread at Syracuse. Take the Hokies there, and then this is an inflated line, but we're not getting in front of this runaway bus with the Nebraska Cornhuskers. One of 3 remaining undefeated teams in college basketball, and they are still excited as hell. When they get up on you, they look to punish you. They're laying 10.5 against Washington. Long road trip for the Huskies coming from Seattle, but taking the Huskers minus 10.5 at home against Washington.
Virginia Tech, Nebraska, and Mississippi State, your 3-pack of college basketball Otter Locks tonight. Where are you tomorrow?
Original Walk-Ons on Burbank.
Awesome, man. Have a great night. Good luck. Thanks, Otter.
All right, good luck, Matt.
All right, that is Jimmy. It's after further review. Alondra on site. Phenomenal job as always. Muse Pauly back in studio. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate the assist. We will be back in studio tomorrow, so we'll spend the night here in Houston, get up, drive back in early, and be back in studio for Thursday edition of AFR. Y'all have an awesome night. We'll see you tomorrow at 3.
AFR.
As we get on down the road, remind you about our friends at Our Lady of the Lake, Championship Health Partner of LSU Athletics. I tell you, when you think LSU, think Our Lady of the Lake. When you think Our Lady of the Lake, think LSU. They are synonymous. You know, the hat that Lane Kiffin posted on his Instagram story the other day when Jordan Seaton was visiting, think about that logo. It's the Our Lady of the Lake logo. It's the LSU logo with a bar in between, basically signifying the two entities being one. And my goodness, what a great partner Our Lady of the Lake has been in this NIL era. So many of the great championship athletes, not just in football, but at all across the board at LSU. Our Lady of the Lake has done tremendous NIL deals, and why wouldn't these student athletes want to endorse Our Lady of the Lake? It is the championship level health care that they receive.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
Trust isn't given, it's earned. Earned both on the court and off. And every step along the way, I trust Our Lady of the Lake to keep me in the game.
FMOL Health, Our Lady of the Lake experts provide best-in-class care for our state's world-class athletes because it takes a champion to care for champions.
On the court, I trust my team. For my health care, I trust the lake.
From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
I'm lawyer Collins Locke Meredith. Among the most important factors to consider when you're hiring an injury attorney is trust. You trust your attorney will put your interest first, treat you with respect, fairness, and honesty. You trust them to be there for you when you need them. At Lock Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, thousands of clients have trusted us to represent them, and for good reasons. Please visit us at lockmeredith.com to learn more, and whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
South Louisiana, it's turnaround season, and River Parish Contractors is calling in the best of the best. We're hiring pipe fitters, ironworkers, boiler makers, combo and structural welders, rig welders, carpenters, crane operators, dirt operators, and more. If you're ready to work, ready to earn, and ready to build something that lasts, call Big Jake at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
This new year, Hood Dental wants you smiling bigger and healthier than ever. New patients can get a healthy gums cleaning for just $89, plus a free exam and full mouth x-rays, a $376 value. With over 3,000 5-star Google reviews, 5 local locations, and easy online scheduling with same-day care, Hood Dental makes it simple to get started. And for January only, save 15% up to $150 on restorative treatment. Schedule today at hooddentalcare.com.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.